7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 320 here, Las Vegas SMX wrap-up show. I'm your host, Travis. I want to thank you all for joining me here. We're going to have a bit of a different show this week here. Justin was supposed to be in studio with us. He had some things come up. He can't be, so we're going to call Justin a little bit. We've got Eric on the phone right now, which if you hear any of that background noise going on, that's what we got happening here. Before we jump in with Eric, just want to thank our presenting sponsors here, Rev X Products and their Max Power Oil Additive. If you guys didn't see it, go back to the Charlotte SMX show. We actually had Dan from Rev X on the show. Me and James asked him a ton of questions about the product, got a ton of good answers. We've tested the product. It will extend the life of your motorcycle engine quite a bit, and they have a full line of fuel and oil additives. Is that camera not working?
Everything's out of whack. Look at that one.
Oh my God. This is a shit show already. We're 30 seconds in. We started late. Seth, I don't want to hear it. Anyway, thanks to Rev X there for presenting the show there. And again, if you guys want to pick up any of their stuff, again, make your engine, especially if you pick up the Max Power, it can extend the life of your single-cylinder 4-stroke motor up to 4 times as long there. So make sure to check them out. And there will be a link in the description down below. Also on board with us here, Gutter Worx, Holster Co., Complete Racing Solutions, Flo Racing, and first up here on board with us, Alias MX, bringing you, owner of Alias MX, Eric Grondol. Hey, buddy. Long time no talk.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Well, it's going great. Be a lot better if Seth would have got us started on fucking time so we had more than 8 fucking minutes to talk. But here we are. So, any who's and Watson. All right, so let's run over the couple major things from last night, right? So, let's just start with this Degan situation with you. Give me your thoughts here, and then we'll go back and forth.
I mean, first of all, how does he get his lap time reinstated when he blatantly cut the track and was inside of the tough blocks? And then goes over the finish line, and they take it away from him, and on the overall combined qualifying sheet, he's 12th. And then they line him up for the moto, and he's back to 9th. I'm like, what? So, yeah, would love to know what AMA's excuse for reinstating and allowing track cutting is.
Maybe you should call Ezra. I'm sure Yogi will have a good answer for that.
Dude, how? How do you get away with that when it was blatantly on the TV screen? I watched it happen. I was like, oh, that sucks. He's gonna lose that lap.
Yeah, wait.
And he did, and then they reinstate it. So yeah, that's just an absolute joke to me. Like it's I don't even know how you call the AMA a legitimate governing body at this point. Like between Levi's fine or warning,
yeah,
on a block pass,
yeah,
and then that,
yep.
Like, come on.
I mean, tell me you're a little biased about things without telling me you're a little biased about things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, okay. So my big question with that then, as far as we go with the AMA is, and I thought about this last night, and I think I even texted you about this, is if Degan doesn't end up going down there and hurting himself, how long do you allow that to go on before you black flag him?
Yeah, I know. That was like, I get it. Like, he was trying to win.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like, 2 or 3 times, like, okay.
Yeah.
But dude, it got to the point where it was just like, okay, like he literally is just trying to put him on the ground. That is his only goal. Like, he's not trying to beat him fair and square. Like, he's literally just trying to put him on the ground.
Yeah.
And, like, it's understandable a couple times, but it was I mean, dude, that time that he tried to get him in that big bowl corner before that step down.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was going to break his leg.
Yep. Yeah, no.
I was like, what?
Yep. Nope. I'm with you. After like 2 or 3, I was like, the thought was in my mind of just like, okay, so when do you black flag him? Because like you can't keep allowing this to go on for the next 6 minutes.
No. So yeah, I mean, props to Joe for just he
doesn't speak English, all right?
He was not hiding from it.
No.
Like he was not hiding from it at all.
No, not at all.
I was so impressed with him.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more happy for how it turned out because Joe definitely earned that and deserved that for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with like the bummer deal breaking his fingers after winning the first round in Supercross this year and not really having a fair shot at that title. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm with you. I give it to him. I give it to Degan in the sense of like, dude, you had to try something because to just go win the race and just, as everybody says, and I'm air quoting here, let the cards fall where they will. Like, bro, okay, that to me is like a quitter's mentality too of like, well, I didn't do anything. But then, like I said, there's just a certain point with that it's like, okay, cool, man. Like, you've tried. It ain't going to work, obviously.
Well,
so, like...
And that was like, Chase tried twice on Webb in Salt Lake City this year at the finale.
Yeah.
And it was like, after that, he was like, okay, like, I'm just going to go win the race now. Like, I tried. It didn't work. So, I'm just going to go win.
Yep. So So like I said, you have to try. I give him props for trying, but there is a point where it's like, okay, dude, now we're just over it, and at that point, then it's like, look, I'm with you. In terms of I don't want big government, aka the AMA, stepping in too much for stuff. But like, there comes a point there where it's like, dude, all he's gonna do is not only hurt himself, which karma got him, so whatever. But he's gonna hurt Joe also, and like that's not fair to Joe. So like let's get this under control. So yeah,
and they did end up docking him another 5 points too.
Yeah, but who gives a shit? His finish was so bad for not finishing anyway. Which again, too, you look at it and you're like, dude, like. I understand you don't need money because you're Degan, but like you just went from like winning $250K to like winning $30K. Like you cost yourself about $250,000 there, bud, because you thought you were gonna win another $250,000. Like, I don't know. Seems dumb. So, dude, how about 2? And I was way prepared to fly off the handle at first. How about the whole Rider D thing?
Oh my goodness. Bro. I'm just glad he's okay. That was scary to watch. They kept showing the replay, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to keep watching this.
I know.
Show me that he's okay first before you start replaying it 5 times. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, well, and then, like, we watched that 5 times, but, like, we didn't watch Degan go down 5 times. Like, we didn't show one fucking replay of Degan, so I don't understand that either. Of, like, here we are battling for the title. We don't see that. But Rider D gets clipped in the head twice and is out, and you're going to continue to show that. I don't know. That was a weird thing for me, too. And then, of course, we didn't have a Sexton thing, which was scary because when Sexton doesn't get up, you know it was bad. Harlan, I haven't seen the video. You said you saw the video, and it was bad.
Yeah, it was like if you saw the Jordan Smith video, it was kind of like that, except the bike pile drove Chase into the face and body slammed him into the face of the single.
Yeah, that is also terrible. So, but he seems like, it sounds like he's going to be relatively okay from what I've heard, is concussion shoulder situation. So, nothing major there. So we'll see. MXON's just fucked. We won't even get into that situation now because I know I've only got like 30 more seconds with you. I mean, dude, the track and tough blocks. Okay, let me ask you this before I let you go here, because there's not a whole lot to cover beyond this. These SMX tracks, we're now nine SMX rounds in. They're not, and Steve has talked about this a lot recently, and I'm really starting to agree with him. They're not really working outside of the Degan situation last night and the jet doing jet things. Like, it's not like there was a lot going on last night.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think it's time that we really look at this and go, okay, what the fuck are we doing?
Yep, I agree.
So I'd like to see, if we're gonna do this, I'd like to see grander races, better racing per se, like, I don't know, something. Like, we've now done nine different versions of this in relatively similar situations, and outside of Dallas 450 Moto 1 last year, it hasn't really been great. So
I agree. Yeah, I think they need to do something different, whether that's, go to, make one of them an outdoor round, one of them an actual supercross round, and then you do the one hybrid track. But the hybrid tracks really need to be like well thought out for passing, because the zigzagging over walls just doesn't work. It's going to be one line no matter what you do.
Yeah. I mean,
there's nothing you can really do.
They tried last night in that first switchback there after the finish where they put that huge wall in the inside and that all that they made it too big, so everybody just went outside instead. But I give them props for trying something there at least, because otherwise it's too much with having to go over the walls and stuff. I thought the outdoor section last night was pretty good. Once you hit the sand and started heading out of the actual track, I thought that actually all raced pretty well. But in the track, it just doesn't work. You almost need to if you're gonna do that. Do long ass supercross lanes down and back with big bowl turns.
That's exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, because the going back and forth, you're right. It ain't working. So, okay, one more quick question before we jump off here, because I know I've had you for longer than you said. Was there really something wrong with Kitchen's bike, or was he just like, fuck it, Joe's gonna win this?
I don't know. Didn't he DNF?
No, he finished 12th.
Oh. I mean, I can't imagine that he would do that for a 12. If something wasn't really wrong, wouldn't he just let Joe go and then finish behind him?
Unless he was really trying to sell it that he wasn't just letting Joe go. But I've heard, and I'm sure you've heard too, that there was words exchanged a couple different times this weekend between his camp and Degan's camp.
Boy.
Between him and Degan. So I think that fire's brewing very nicely here for the future, too. So, when you add that combined with then all of a sudden he has this bike issue there and still kind of finishes the moto, but just is like, oh, well, Joe needs to go by me. So, okay, cool. See you, Joe. Thanks. I don't know, man. I don't know. Seems sus to me. Maybe not.
I would have thought he would try and help his teammate, though, no? Because Seth was winning it at one point.
He was, but then that would mean he would have had to go back by Degan and back by Joe, and I just think he knew he didn't have anything for the two of them.
Yep, that's fair.
So if he could have, yes, but I don't think, and that's something else too. I never understood why Degan was looking at Levi so much. That was fucking dumb too. But anyway, all right, buddy. I appreciate it. I've kept you 5 minutes longer. I know you got to get to dinner. Thank you for coming on. Apologize to the lady for me. I don't really want to have to fight her next time or have her hit me or something.
No, it's all good.
So enjoy your dinner, man. And we will talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep. Love you. Bye. All right. Air Grondol, everybody. Brought to you by Alias MX. Again, show presented by Rev X Oil Products. Make sure to pick up max power, extend the life of your single-cylinder 4-stroke motor. There's going to be a link in the description down below. Alias MX for your new 2025 MX gear. All right, so I'm your host, Travis, here. Sorry, we had to jump on that really quickly there. Can you turn my headphones up just a little bit? Seth's in studio with me. Like I said, Justin was supposed to be here. However, Justin had something come up, so we're gonna call him here.
I'm not exactly sure which one is.
I don't know. Start turning one up and see. That's me. That's me, because now I got nothing. So go up, 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 up. Okay, there we go. I could hear him okay. I don't know. It just sounded weird. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Seth's over here in the corner working on stuff, guys. We're constantly making upgrades to the studio here, so now we've got a new studio-only computer, which is awesome, but it's not fully set up yet. So Seth has been screwing around with that, which is why we only had Eric for a short time to start with, and then we kind of cut into that because Seth was not prepared.
I tried to be here before.
Seth was not prepared.
No.
Oh Lord, here we go. Here we go. I had to go be a dad. Daughter's birthday. Now she has a thing tonight that mom takes her to, so like no big deal. The show is fine. I'm not skipping daughter's birthday or anything here for the show. She's at a church thing that she does. It's a kids thing, whatever, on Sunday nights. So like whatever. However, we had ice skating from 4 to 5. And Dad is the ice skating guy because Dad used to play hockey, so had to be there. So, yes, I'm sorry you couldn't get in till 5:10. However, child, just like my younger child, who's now 11, which is scary, I was counting you down. Hey, Seth, we got 10 minutes till the show starts.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it look nice.
You get in the computer. They can't see the wires are for us. It looks nicer anyway. However,
I can see them though.
we needed...
It's important to me, okay, Travis?
Look, I don't give a fuck. Okay, let's see here. Let's get Justin up here. Oh shit! Let's get the proper new FaceTime.
We're into this though.
We're what?
We're into the shop computer now.
Oh, the shop computer's running.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up some stuff while we're doing this.
Okay, good.
I'll see some action.
Good. I mean, technically, it's not the shop computer. We'll call it the studio computer
Yeah,
because it's just for the studio, literally. So, all right, we're gonna call Justin here. Justin going to be brought to you by NANO XTREME because I'll guarantee you he's going to have a painful take here for sure. Justin, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
It's going great. How are you? Are you hurt?
Nah, I just don't feel great.
Did you die?
I mean, maybe. Could be a ghost. I don't know.
Huh. Weird. Okay. All right.
But you were calling Eric.
I did, but Eric only had 15 minutes. He had to be to dinner. He had to be to dinner at 6:30, and my employee over here fucked around and fucked off the first 8 minutes of the 15 I had with him. So here we are.
Nice.
Here we are. I kept him for like 5 extra minutes. He was already getting in trouble about being late for dinner from the chick. He's telling her it's fine. I said it's my fault. Just tell her that. She can be mad at me. Yeah, so it was a real thing. So
Nice.
anyway, so anything happened race-wise this weekend you want to talk about, or should we just move on and just talk about life or something?
I think we should just call it a show. I mean, I don't think much happened this weekend. I think it was kind of a boring race, if you ask me. I mean, dude, I don't know. That was kind of a shitty way to end the year.
You want to talk about MXGPs or?
No, man, I haven't watched the race. I know who won the titles and stuff, but I haven't watched the races yet. So no.
You only got to watch one moto.
No, I don't. I want to watch both.
They didn't do both.
Oh yeah, it did rain. I forgot about that.
Yes, It rained, and I watched it. I haven't watched the highlights either, so I don't have any clue really, other than I know who won the title and stuff. And I saw a post with Hurlings where Hurlings was basically like, "Yeah, look, first, second, third in the title was already decided in the after the first moto. The fucking rain is here. We're not 200 kilometers from home. We're a gazillion fucking miles. So there's 0 point to run the second moto." And he actually gave some props to David Luongo for making the proper choice of not running the second moto. So,
yeah, well, that's what happens when you go to Australia in the middle of nowhere in Darwin.
Well, yeah, whatever. So, you want to talk about MXON? Because Jeffrey's also not going to be there. So,
well, I knew about that a long time ago. Yeah, he's that's a KTM deal.
I know. Jeffrey's not going to be there. Not looking positive for Chase.
I don't think Chase is going.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know that I'll I'm sure I'll watch highlights, but I don't even know that I'll watch the race. My whole interest in that race at this moment is if Degan goes and what he can do. But
I mean, I'm still going to buy the package and stuff, but it definitely sounds like it's going to be J. Coop and RJ with Eli.
Who are they dropping down to the 250?
J Coop. J Coop goes to MX2, RJ goes open, and Eli bumps to MX1 or MXGP.
Is that somebody's talking about that today that you've seen, or?
No, well, I mean, yeah, but I saw it last night, so like that's basically what was said. I don't know. It wasn't at the press conference. I think it was after a discussion. I don't know if it was Mike Pelletier or who, but yeah, Michael Lindsay talked about that's basically the conversation that was had, and as of right now, those were the only two people that basically put their hands up and said, "Yeah, I'll go."
Well, good on them for actually going, because my thing was like, fuck it, just throw the towel in. Who gives a shit anyway?
I mean, honestly, dude, outside of Australia and Belgium, and I mean, obviously France always seems to pull shit out of their ass. I mean, obviously that's not the best team we could have sent. The team that we had was the best team we were going to send.
Yeah.
But, dude, I don't know, man. Like, we're not going to win by any means, but I think if that is the team that we're going to send, J. Coop, we know always, he comes in locked in. I know he's only going to have 2 weeks on the 250, but like I think J. Coop's pretty adaptable. RJ is pretty much proven all of outdoors that, he is one of the best dudes in the world right now. I mean, we're not going to win, but I still think that that's a pretty respectable team.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, and especially because we've seen what RJ's done here on the 450. So, like, we know RJ's going to just, like, if you'd have asked me this at the beginning of Outdoors, like, hey, do you think we should send RJ? I'd have been like, are you fucking high? Like, no way. However, after seeing his performances here, okay, cool. Like, I'm okay with that. J. Coop bumping down the 250 sucks, but again, I was racking my brain a little bit last night. I'm like, who the fuck do we even send? Like, our 250.
Yeah, I mean, everybody,
our 250 guy here,
dudes.
Yeah.
All the 250 dudes are either going to be rehabbing or they're all getting surgery, because I was like, the only 250 dude I would send right now at this point, if he wasn't getting surgery, would have been Seth.
Yeah,
but obviously Seth's getting shoulder surgery, so like that's not going to happen.
Yep.
And then there's no way in hell I was going to like, yeah, we should send Levi. So I'm going to be honest, man. Like J. Coop, like he's always performed, and he's not going to win, but I think I'm actually more interested to see just how he really does.
I don't know. I mean, like, that to me is kind of like a nah point. Like, yeah, it'll be interesting just to see how he does because he's on 250 instead of 450. But, like I said, my real thing for watching that was going to be to see what Degan could do. Like, it was like, can Degan go out there and rock 450, like, rock 450 guys' worlds on his 250?
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, that doesn't seem to be a thing here. I think he could get that plated and probably be back for it. But let's face it. We all know behind the scenes he's not really that committed to it. So
he ain't going. He ain't going. There's no way. There's no way. And obviously Chase, with his big crash, and apparently did Eric? Has he talked to anybody? Has he talked to Kier? Has he talked to anybody?
No, Eric.
The only thing I heard is he walked into the medic on his own, under his own power.
I've heard concussion and shoulder.
Well, with as long as he was on the ground, and the reports that were coming out from the immediate reaction from people, that's best case scenario. Because, and I don't know, maybe you saw the same stuff. There was a lot of people. There was a lot of like additional reaction that goes, "Oh, that's not good."
Have you seen the video? I guess the video's out there.
Yeah, I mean the video's crappy, but like it's not great, dude. Like if Chase wasn't as put together as he was, if that was anybody else, for example, I don't know what kind of conversation we're having today, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I heard. I haven't seen it yet. I've been busy most
crappy.
of the day.
It's definitely a person that like just happened to have their phone going.
Yeah.
Just a person on the side of the fence.
Yeah.
So you like barely even see it, but you get a good understanding of how hard he lawn darted into the face of that roller. And like I said, if it was anybody other than Chase, I don't know what kind of conversation we're having today, to be honest with you. I don't know what that really looks like. If I'm being honest, I think we're looking at a Jerry Robbins situation.
Yeah, well,
it's bad, dude. It's not great. It's the sudden impact. It just him bouncing, and it's just he goes limp.
Well, I mean, dude, that track yesterday was I don't even know. So I was talking to Eric, and I'll ask your opinion here too. We now have had 9 rounds of SMX, right?
Yeah.
None of these tracks so far, the only halfway decent race we've had would be 450 Moto 1 at Dallas last year. The rest of them, outside of the top guys here, Jet, Deegs, whatever, doing whatever the fuck they're doing, whether they're getting taken out or they're coming from the back or whatever. The rest of it's like, meh. I mean, like last night, dude, if we don't have Jet in that first 450 moto there, coming from 4th or 5th, if we don't have Degan not getting a good start and having to come through and try to catch Joe, if we don't have those, it's boring, the first 2 motos. And then you get to the second 2, and the second 2 are kind of in a similar vein, man. Like, if we don't have Degan fucking with Shimoda, that's boring. If we don't have Jet just sitting there just outside of winning the title, that one's boring. Yep. Like, because it wasn't like there were battles going on, or at least not anything they were showing us, so the battles couldn't have been that interesting, because otherwise they would have at least showed it to us.
Yeah, I mean, it's the byproduct of having 31 rounds, in a 12-month year. I mean, these dudes, half of these dudes, if it's kind of the same conversation we always have at the end of Supercross or even the end of outdoors that happen, pretty much since racing since its inception. Like, if you're not battling for a championship, or you're within a few points of like, hey, I'm going to get, second, I'm going to get third, or I'm going to even get like top 5. A lot of these dudes, if they don't get a good start and they're just, they got a nagging injury, which all these dudes by this point are, they're just like, you know what, man, I'm just going to kind of settle in, and then I'm going to sit here, and if I'm closing the gap on someone and I got a little left in the tank, I'll pull the trigger, and if not, I'm just not going to try to kill myself.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. I mean, dude, that was like I was watching the interview with Ty, and kudos to him, too, for getting 6th. For as much as we shit on Ty, well, I don't normally shit on him, but like everybody else does, and I mean, it's definitely, deserved. For somebody that wasn't even in and had to ride all the LCQs to end up getting 6th in the points, even with all the nonsense that has happened in the 3 rounds, I think that's pretty respectable. Obviously, him being himself, he wanted more, and he, was expected more. But like, that's like he was talking about, the first moto I just got cleaned out. Cleaned out. And I'm like, by who?
Yeah.
Like who cleaned him out? And I guess if I would have went back, and because I'm sitting here watching the second motos just in case, because I knew we were going to talk about some of the stuff only having to do with the second motos. But I went back and watched it, and I'm like, maybe I could catch a glimpse of who it was. Can't see it. Don't know how. And he didn't say, and obviously he's not going to. But he's like, I just got cleaned out, and I'm like, who the fuck cleaned out Ty in the first moto?
Yeah, dude, who knows, man. I mean, you look at that. Like I said, I was talking to Eric about it. So, the Vegas track here, I thought the outdoor section worked well. The switchbacks in the drag strip, nope. If you're gonna go to drag strips, okay, and you're gonna run it the way you are, then the drag strip section needs to be super duper long lanes with huge bowl turns at the end. You need to go down, back down, and then swoop out and go into the outdoor section. Because, like I said, the outdoor section last night, I felt like that actually kind of worked. Big jumps, big corners,
the dual options,
room to actually make moves, bull turns to make moves in out there. But when you got into the actual drag strip part of it, after you went over the finish line, it was okay, cool. What are we doing? Back forth across, whatever 100 foot of fucking floor, dude. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We've seen this in Supercross for 50 fucking years now. Of when you have short lanes like that, it never works. There's not enough room to get speed on guys. So you need to just come in, you go all the way down, you do a 180, you come all the way back, big rhythms, whatever, and you just do that, dude. Back and forth down the drag strip, quarter mile each way,
Yeah, and then the only thing, and I'm surprised it even took him that long, because I was sitting there after watching press day video, and I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna huck this really soon, in the first practice on Saturday morning. Was the right after the finish, after you hit the or going into left-hander, that little double where you had the high side, low side.
Yeah.
And then Levi pulled the trigger and Jet was doing it too. And then obviously, Joe did it where they doubled to the outside. But even then it wasn't faster because you just had to stretch it. And then there was no transition into the corner. So you had to go high in the berm.
Yep.
But even as long as it took them to do it, I'm just dude, why isn't nobody pulling the trigger on this? Because it's blatantly, it's easier to just kind of float off the top of the inside where it was a little bit more built and then just drop into the inside rut because it's cambered.
Yeah.
But I'm dude, why is nobody pulling the trigger on this? I'm all you got to do is angle coming off the finish a little bit so you straighten out. and then just all you're doing is kind of sending it to the outside. And then, like I said, it took all the way till the night show for anybody to even pull the trigger on it. I'm like, what are we doing? And that was the only other thing that was interesting once you got into the, and I'll do air quotes, the Supercross style portion of it. But outside of that, it's the same old thing as it was the year before. The back section, and it's just it's wide open, it's dry, it's edgy, and it's the same thing it was last year. Like, let's go berm to berm, and we'll just drop in and hold it wide open, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I think now that we've had 3 years or 3 seasons or whatever you want to call this now, 3 tries at this, like, we're going to have to do some reevaluation going into next year of what we're going to do with these tracks. And as we talked about in the last show, these venues, because it ain't doing it. I mean, this is the second straight year that the 450 class, is, and once again, I'll do an air quotes, down to the final moto. The 250 class obviously had some drama. The first year, we had some drama, but it's like, really was it? And like, there was nobody else really battling for any other positions. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, if this is, it's kind of the same feeling I feel about Triple Crowns, for the last couple of years. Like, they were really, really cool. It was a good idea in the beginning, and it always kind of does create drama. But it's one of those things that, like, same thing with Triple Crown. If you have a bad first moto, and same thing, you go into SMX, if you're so far behind or you have a bad first round, like, you're essentially out of it. And, a lot of these dudes, we know that, like, they're like, yeah, you know what, then we're just going to kind of go through the motions, as we saw with Chase after the first round, going into St. Louis and going into last night. And I don't know, man. I'm almost at the point where it's like, it's cool. More racing is always good on my end, but like, I kind of just don't even, like, it is what it is now. It is what it is. I don't know if you feel the same way. Once again, more racing is always in my books is great. More racing. I love it. I hate it for these dudes because they're so spent by the time we get to October, and then especially if they're doing off-season races.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm kind of at the point that, like, if this is the trajectory we're going to keep going on, like, I couldn't care either way if we continue to do this or not moving forward.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Of like, look, when we started 3 years ago, it was like, okay, this is exciting. It's something different. Obviously, there was the Chicago one, which was real close to us, so that was cool, and we went to that one, and that was neat. Then last year, obviously, the big thing was like, oh, we're going back to Vegas. Okay, sweet, awesome. We'll go back to Vegas and finish it out there. So that's cool. LA Coliseum first year, that was cool. This year, it was like, oh, now we're going to go to St. Louis and be in an actual stadium here, but it's going to be different. Okay, we'll see how that goes. But the other two are kind of like same, basically. So now that we've kind of seen all this, I'm really kind of like, yeah, like the playoffs are cool, but again, it's like everything. It needs work, and I don't believe it's going to go away. I don't think that's going to be the case. I agree. I don't believe it just has to be refined, right? Like that's what it really comes down to. It just needs to be refined more. Like, we have 40 years of Supercross and 50 years of outdoor to figure out that, okay, this is the way an outdoors works and how to make the racing good there. This is how a Supercross works and how to make the racing good there. And we're trying to create something different, and it's going to take time to develop. So, like, I think we all need to have a little bit of patience, because I think if we get 10 years down the road now, it will, and it's still going on, then I think, okay, cool, this is going to, like, by then we'll have it a little bit more figured out. Track-wise, but for right now and the next foreseeable future here, it's kind of like, let me fast forward. I don't really want to fast forward years in my life, but let me fast forward years in racing here just to get by this. So, all right, let's talk some racing stuff here. So, do you want to talk about Jet, or do you want to talk about the 250s?
I mean, we might as well go in the order we always have to, but, like, honestly, man, like, I would much rather, I mean, I understand Jet's the champ again, but, like, I think it's a bigger deal with Hunter. I think Jet did Jet things, but I think if I'm going to give more credit to anybody, I think Hunter honestly deserves more credit than Jet, if I'm being honest. I know that people would disagree because Hunter's not the champion, but the this is 2 years in a row now. Hunter has done this, and whether you want to say, oh, some things happened and it led to that way, fine. I'm not going to disagree with you, but it doesn't really matter. Like Hunter, as I said the last show, like Hunter continues to not get the credit that I think he deserves, and yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. It's a really weird time because we've always said this. If Jet wasn't there, you could make a big argument that Hunter would have so many titles by now. But then also, too, I didn't know Hunter was as sick as he was. So to go out and ride like that, the way he did last night, I mean, Jet's always impressive. But I think that now you kind of got to look that in a box and go, okay, like Jet continues to do what Jet does.
Yeah.
But Hunter doing what he did again for the second straight year, I don't know, man. I know that you'll probably disagree, but I'm more impressed with what Hunter did than what Jet did.
I mean, my thing with Hunter is that like Hunter's just in the spot, like a Kevin Windham, like a Dungy. He is the second best guy. He is the second best guy. And I said in the reaction show, I was like, look, he's fantastic. These guys, everybody else outside of Jet, they're all kind of fucked with him too because he's the man there. Once you get past you go him and then Jet, basically. And I said in the reaction show, I'm like, look, it's obviously taking a toll on both him and Jet here of Jet just winning all of these titles because Hunter is good enough that he should win a title or whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously even Jet is starting to really feel this of like, dude, I wish my brother would just get one, but like I can't really even give him one because I also like money type deal, which again, I know that's got to be a big conundrum because the kid is absolutely loaded at this point. And so like for him, he's like, dude, I do love money and I want to get as much as I possibly can. But like at the same time, I kind of want to give my brother one, but at the same time I don't. So like just a conundrum of an issue. Right. But,
yeah.
but I said, if I'm Hunter, dude, I got to look at this and go, I'm the second baddest dude on a dirt bike in the world at this point, basically. I am going to get paid million. Like, you got to be probably pretty close to the second highest paid guy outside of your brother, which is worth well over $1 million base salary, I would assume. You're getting bonuses that have to be in the hundreds and hundreds of thousands. And again, you're not winning titles, so you have to have a top 3 bonus structure. Like, there's no way you don't. So you have a top 3 bonus structure, which again, you look at outdoors. He has never finished outside the top 5. So you're almost guaranteed to get some sort of bonus, which means you're going to make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars extra every year outside of the salary. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I saw a thing on Instagram yesterday that was like, take the time to sit and instead of focusing on where you're going and what you don't have yet, like look back at where you came from. And I'm like, okay, if I'm Hunter Lawrence, I sit down and I look at my career in the United States starting in whatever year it was here, and I look at those first few years and go, holy shit, there was a point there that I was going to retire. Like we weren't even going to ride anymore. And now I'm the second baddest dude on a 450 in both Supercross. I mean, I guess we don't have a full vision of Supercross yet, but I mean,
we can debate that because I was just gonna say, but go. I'll say something about that, but go ahead. Keep going.
But okay, but I'm the second baddest dude on a dirt bike in the United States. Like that's pretty fucking good. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there's all this stuff that you don't have, like titles and stuff, but like at the same time, like sometimes you gotta stop, smell the roses, and appreciate the shit you do have, which is, man, I'm the second baddest dude. I got all this money. Like, I don't know. I understand where his mindset would be with not winning a title, but I also try to look at it from both directions there and go, well, I am this dude. Like, I have surpassed all of these other guys at this point. So,
yeah, I mean, I definitely think when, obviously living in a world where money for a lot of people is, I mean, I would say probably most people, but there are some people out there where money's not the biggest thing, but money is the end goal. He's making a lot of money. He's making a great living. We all know the story, coming from nothing. Obviously not as much as Jet, but that's a different story. But I mean, I think it does come down to, it's like, what is your end goal? Where, like, we always talk about with like pride is what is the end thing you want to accomplish, and I think that he can look back in his life and be very, very proud if he even never wins a title and he continues on this trajectory of doing these things. But I also think, being that he is the older brother, and once again, I know that a lot of people, we all know the story, and it's gotten hammered down our throats for the million pieces that they've done. But yeah, Hunter's the reason why, like, everybody even come here, and, Jet is, without Hunter, Jet never probably would have came over here, and we've heard it, blah, blah, blah. But, like, if you're Hunter, you're the one that has to live that every day, and you it's true. And then obviously Jet has now done Jet things, and he's on this crazy rocket ship to possibly be one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, when it's all said and done. And it's like, you can look back and go, yes, I made a lot of money, I did a lot of cool things, I accomplished a lot. But if he never does win a title, though, I think it is going to be a little hard for him. And this is the conversation that I've always had with it, is that if he looks back and he never wins a title and Jet wins insert number, I do think that's going to mess with him a little bit on the psyche. And yes, you are right. You got to sometimes, and we all forget this, we're all guilty of it. Don't focus on the things you don't have. Focus on what you have and be grateful for it. But we all are so humans, and we also can't always do that all the time. And especially when you're talking about racing, and you do racing your little brother, and he is the little brother, and that always gets driven home. It might be a little hard for him at the end of his career to go, yeah, man, like, I did really well, but, like, Jet did all of this, and I don't have one damn 450 title. Like, again, totally agree with what you're saying, man. I don't disagree with anything you're saying. But we also know humans don't operate that way.
Yeah, I know. But you got to believe, too, at some point here, his brother's going to get hurt in one of these seasons. He's not, and he's going to win one of these damn things. Because he's got to have the confidence at this point that he's better than these other guys. I mean,
Supercross, though, this is where I'll disagree with you, though, and this is what I was going to make, is Supercross.
Yeah.
I if I am going to be one critique, and I don't want to be negative Nancy over here, but if we are, this is what we do, and this is what we're talking about. Supercross, I would tend to agree that he's not. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm nitpicking here, but if you're going to line up all these dudes on any given day, and same thing at the end of the season, and you talk about speed for speed and consistency for consistency, he's not in the top 3 though yet in Supercross. He's not, and that's not me just saying it. It's proven. If you take all of the dudes, he's obviously not better than his brother. Okay, so we know that. So take Jet out of it, even if you didn't want to insert Jet.
Yeah.
Chase, let's be real. On speed for speed on any given day, Chase mops the floor with him. Eli mops the floor with him. He's not better than Coop. He's not even faster than Kenny. Like, we talk about Hunter, and I think he surpassed this now, and I think that he has proven that, and he gets the right to do this. But remember, just a year ago, we were putting him in the same category as J. Coop, and I think that he's passed J. Coop, and that's not a knock on J. Coop. J. Coop, obviously is well surpassed, I think, a lot of people's expectations. And I also think RJ is going to be really good. But if we're being fair on this, in Supercross, I still don't think Hunter's top 5. Like, he just hasn't proven it yet.
Well, okay, hold on, because I just went and looked up results, right? Because I was like, what did he do? Because I don't remember, other than I remember he got hurt at the beginning of the year here. So Anaheim won 11th, but if you remember, him and Jet were way off on bike setup. So, like, Jet was 10th or 12th or something. So, like, we'll just throw that one out. Okay, it was
fair
weird.
Fair enough.
Then you went San Diego, Anaheim, Glendale before he got hurt. He went 5-5-5.
And that is 5-5-5 is great. But then what happened?
Well, then he got hurt. Yeah. So.
And that's my point. So now, if he would have kept doing that, and he would have, we would have gotten probably some podiums and stuff, and he would have got, some more top 5s or whatever, and maybe had a bad round or two, but probably not, because Hunter is just solid. Then fine, we could have the conversation that he is top 5. But I think that if we're being honest, because he has yet to prove it, I can't put him in there just because he has been super consistent in outdoors and SMX.
Yeah.
Now, but if you're going off of what is capable of, then yes, I totally agree. But he hasn't done it yet. And here's the other thing, too, is even though I think he is better than this person, Malcolm has a win and Hunter doesn't.
This is true.
But
Hunter's got a second place.
Hunter does have a second place. But he's not. He hasn't won one though.
This is true. This is true.
And it sounds terrible that I'm nitpicking, and I'm not trying to, obviously, because I'm trying to give Hunter all of his flowers. I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
But if I have one critique, I think that he needs to just be a little bit better in Supercross.
I just think our sample size is too small.
Yes, and then we start talking about, okay, then we have to start saying that yes, he is without a doubt the second best dude. bar none besides Jet, and then the conversation, like, there's no leg to stand on if you're on the other side of it. Like, I totally agree.
Yeah.
But until then, I just can't do it because he hasn't proven it yet.
Yep.
But he's going to. He's going to.
Yeah.
Whether he, is a podium guy, gets some wins, but speed for speed, though, in Supercross, man, I don't think he's ever going to be straight up in Supercross. I don't think he's ever going to be straight up better than Sexton in Supercross.
Okay.
I don't ever see Hunter getting to a level of Sexton speed in Supercross. So I think it's going to be hard for me to say that he's ever going to be that much better than Sexton, because I also don't believe he's ever going to win a Supercross title.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's really hard to knock Hunter for anything he's done, because he's proven himself. Like, he has proven that if Jet wasn't there, it's like, damn, dude, he would have a lot of titles by now. But, it is what it is. But yeah, it's going to be more and more interesting now, because now, as you said, this conversation has been had, and I didn't watch the press conference, and I didn't watch the podium interviews, but somebody made a comment that Jet, talked about some of this stuff, and even the post show.
We can talk about that, because dude, if nothing else, the media is trying to ramp up this Degan-Lawrence rivalry here. And so I haven't watched the press conference either. I've only seen clips. Favorite clip so far of the press conference is, have you seen the Shimoda one?
I've seen his interviews that he's done, but they weren't from the press conference.
Okay.
I've seen like snippets of what he said, but I haven't actually watched the press conference.
So press conference, someone asked him something about Degan, right? And he goes, well, he didn't say anything too bad to me. He just looked at me and said, you have no idea what's coming. He goes, and I looked at him and said, I don't speak English. And I'm like, dude, it's the best. Dude, Jet lost it, bro. Jet lost it. Started clapping at everything. It was awesome.
So these must have been the comments that I heard that Hayden was chirping before the start of the second moto.
Must be, yes. And then with Jet, somebody must have asked him about Degan or whatever, and he basically said, well, he has what seems to be a bunch of other guys to get through to even get to me, which I was like, ooh, man, that was a good one.
But I mean, it's true though. It's true though.
He's like, I think he's got also like Hunter and Chase and Eli and Ken to deal with before he even gets to me. He then said, he goes, it's gonna be hard to beat me if. How do you word it? I don't remember. Something like it's gonna be hard to beat me if he's behind me the whole time or something like that. I don't. Basically, I mean, dude, he threw down the gauntlet of like, fuck this kid, essentially, without saying it. He just wasn't having it. He's like, this is realistically one of the first times I've seen Jet realistically be like, I'm the fucking best, and this kid has nothing for me. Without being quite as abrasive as that. I thought he answered the question, or I thought his comments worked around that pretty well. But basically getting the point across of like, dude, I don't fucking care about him because he's got a lot of other dudes to get through before he gets to me. And I mean,
good, bro. I mean, I'm not a Jet fan, but like, good. I'm glad he said that, because with it's what we've been trying to hammer home. And once again, everybody knows I'm not a Jet fan, but how many times I've never changed my stance on this. I said this from day one. Hayden is not on Jet's level. You can look and be like, oh, he's accomplished this and this and that, and nobody's denying Hayden's his talent and his work ethic. But when I watch Jet and I watch Hayden, and I'm like, dude, there's no comparison. It's not even in the same fucking stratosphere. Like, so I don't know, man. Like, and I think that the race last night really proved it, hit it home. And good. I'm glad that Jet, and I'm not a drama guy, but I'm glad. Like, Jet's probably getting sick and tired of it. And everybody else that in the 450 class, all those people that he just named should be sick of it too, because they could all sit there and put their hands up and go, I'm sorry. Like, I'm a former champion. I'm a 450 champion.
Yeah.
Like the kid's got to get through us before he even gets to Jet. Like, I'd feel the same way, dude. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, yeah. And Jet's exactly right. You got to go through Kenny. You got to go through Tomac. You got to go through Hunter. Then let's get to the champions: Chase, Eli,
Coop.
Webb. Like, you got to get through all those boys before you even think you're going to get to Jet. Like, in my opinion, and this, Jet's tip of the spear in the 450 class at this point. And like, to get to the tip of the spear, you got to climb up the sides of it. And guess what? The sides of it are also fucking sharp. And those dudes also don't give a shit about you.
no offense to Hayden, but and I know that a lot of people will jump on this comment that I'm about to make, but I think it's a fair comment. Dude, he's still got to prove that he can beat J. Coop and RJ.
Yep.
And like, dude, with the way J. Coop and RJ have rode this year, and we know how they are against him on the 250, like that's no given that he's just going to walk in and dog walk those dudes on the 450.
Yeah. No. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, man, good on Jet, bro. Good on Jet. Again, not a Jet fan, but like, good. I'd be pissed too. He should say that because like it's proven. It's not even conjecture. It's a fact.
Yep. I'm sorry. Jet's got 6 450 titles right now, and I know that's a little because of the SMX thing. So whatever, but like, but that's the era we're living in now. So like, I'm gonna start going with that. Like we can argue semantics about that, you know, as far as Supercross, Motocross, and SMX stuff. But like, he's got 6 450 titles right now. So yeah.
I mean, don't we do the same thing with Degan and his SMX titles?
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, like if we're gonna do it with Hayden, I mean, do it with Jet too. Like we can't like pick and choose. Like if you're gonna give Hayden more titles because of SMX, then I think you also need to give Jet more titles because of SMX. So yeah, man. Again, I got no problem with it. Like it is, as you just said, the era that we're living in.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're somebody that doesn't want to count them, fair play to you. Like that's up to you. Like how you look at it. But like. It's fact. Like, you know, if you're going to give Hayden more titles because of SMX, then you got to give the same thing to Jet.
Yep. Which, speaking on Jet here, we can talk about his race a little bit last night. Was there a point that you thought like, oh, he's really just going to sit here and let Hunter get this? Like,
no, man, no, not really. Like, I mean, I think that, you know, through the last couple of years, I think that Jet has proven that even he's in this emotional conundrum because it is his brother and he sees how hard his brother's working. Like, he does still want to win. He is still a competitor. You know, so no, I don't really think so. I think honestly, when I'm watching that, I think it comes more down to is like, oh, hey, Jet's just struggling a little bit because obviously we've seen more in the past couple of years since he has moved to the 450. Other than that first season outdoors, that, you know, when the level ramps up, that even though he has proven that he can sit back and just kind of let things come to him, there are some times where he's just not feeling it. And it's like when I'm watching that, I'm going, okay, I'm seeing that, you know, you can blatantly see when he's kind of sitting back and kind of analyzing things from, you know, afar. You know, but also, hey, maybe he's just not feeling it and, you know, he doesn't want to, you know, put himself on the ground. So, no, I don't ever think when I watch Jet, I'm thinking that he's going, yeah, I'm just going to give my brother one. Like, I still think that there's the competitive nature. I think it just comes down to, like, okay, what's his mindset in this moto? Does he really want to ramp it up to 11 and, like, really pull the trigger on going deep? Or does he just kind of want to, you know what, man? Not really feeling it this moto. I don't want to put myself on the ground or, you know, risk putting myself on the ground. So
I don't know, man. That last night shocked me. Like that last night, because like once we got inside of 5 minutes there and he wasn't really making moves, I was just like, oh, okay, like he's either struggling so bad with the bike or he literally has made the mental cognitive decision of just like, look, I'm going to sit here and let Hunter get this one. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
I mean, as a Jet guy, like, you know, I sat there and waited to see something, and there was nothing that indicated that all of a sudden he was going to drop his lap time by 2.5 seconds and just fucking go. And then, like, all of a sudden he did, and I'm like, dude, like, again, being the Jet homer, even it was just like, man, just add another thing to it where it's like, what is the safe zone for these guys? You know, like at what point is there, because like I said, once we got inside 5 minutes, I was like, oh man, this is over. Like he's not pushing forward at all. Cause I would have thought, you know, you watch the first moto at 10 minutes in, all of a sudden he like got it together and was like, okay, cool. Now we're going to go. There wasn't an indication of that at 10 minutes. And we've seen the halfway stuff before with him where it takes him like half the moto to get going and get settled, and then he goes. And then it's like, yeah, he drops a second, 2 seconds a lap and goes for 3 or 4 laps. There wasn't an indication of that last night. And then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, yeah, so the last 3 laps I'm going to go 2.5 seconds a lap faster and pass Eli and pull this out. Wait, what?
Well, we also, and you know, and this is not taking anything away from Jet because he obviously has done this multiple times in Supercross the first year, outdoors and stuff. But I think that is also a byproduct of how these SMX tracks flow because we also know, and we saw it before he got hurt this year and plenty of times his rookie year, that if it's a normal Supercross track, he's not going to be able to do that all the time. So if that was a true Supercross track, like he's not just going to go 2 seconds a lap faster late in the main just because of how fucking beat down, a supercross tracks are now at the end of the mains. Like, it's just like you're really tempting fate of like, yeah, I really am going to maybe put it out the front door if I try to do this, 19 minutes into a supercross main at fucking East Rutherford or wherever, insert, race.
Yeah.
So I think that is a byproduct of how these SMX tracks break down. But yeah, I guess you could look at it that way too, but I don't ever think like he's ever going to gift one to Hunter. I think that he always wants to be competitive and make it seem like there's not like, oh, I'm like laying up for, Hunter or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it is always interesting. Like that's just a response to your comment about like, what is the safe zone for these guys? Because like, if that's a regular supercross race and that's like Chase out front with that big of a lead, like last year with the way he was riding, outside of Chase putting it on the ground, like he's not going to just go 2 seconds faster. But again, it's the byproduct of how these SMX tracks break down.
Yeah.
Jet is just very uber comfortable. And I also think that for whatever reason, like, Eli just looked like he fucking fell off the face of the earth with 3 minutes to go too. But if we're also giving credit, again, giving Hunter credit, because part of me was like, I'm sitting there watching it, and then when he dropped down to 4 seconds, I'm like, he's gonna catch Eli. And then when he went around Eli, I'm like, he's got a little bit of time. Is he gonna go after a Hunter? Hunter dropped his lap times too, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fair play to Hunter. Like, give old Jet credit in the world, and that's fine. Like, he definitely deserves it because, again, he continues to be in that rarefied air of like, Stu and I won't say RC like in the supercross style of it, but like Stu and some of the stuff RV and Hurlings have done of where like you look like a fucking extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
But I mean, fair play to Hunter, dude, because like when Jet got around him, I honestly thought that I'm like, he's got enough time to go after him. And Hunter put it out to 4 seconds, and I'm like, okay, cool, good for Hunter, man. Like, good for Hunter. He was like, you know what, man? Because I guarantee, what's his mechanic's name, Cameron or whatever, was like, yo, Jet's there, and Hunter's like, I'm not letting this happen again. Like, I'm not letting little bro. Like, I'm not leading this whole damn main and then letting little bro. I don't care how sick I am. And like I said, I haven't looked at the lap times, but it's visible. Like, Hunter was like, nah, man, I'm laying it all on the line, and he dropped his lap time. So yeah, fair play to both of them, man. Like. Yeah, it was just as I don't want to say non-exciting, but for as uneventful as some of the races were, there was just very small things that you could pick up and go, yeah, man, I think a lot of these boys have some stuff to be, proud of the way that they ended the season. So yeah, man, like, I know that this is how we do this show, and this is how all of us that sit up here and do these podcasts, like, we like to nitpick things. But I think there's a lot of people that can look at the end of the season and go, yeah, I should be proud of, how I did. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. All right, let's talk 250s here, because I don't really have much else to talk 450s. We kind of covered what
I just want to get I agree. The only thing I'll say is, and I think we already said it, but I want to say it again, I want to give RJ Hampshire all the credit in the world, dude, because I think all of us kind of sat up there and we're like, go to the 450. RJ's going to kill himself. He's going to literally, he's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
RJ, I know he didn't, other than win a moto, I want to give RJ all the credit in the world because I think that he proved, I would probably say 99.9% of the people in the industry wrong that the 450 actually did smooth him out.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So good on him, man. He had a hell of an outdoor season, and I don't know what his ceiling is as a Supercross. Do I expect him to win? No, I don't expect him to win. But could he podium? Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, if he runs Supercross like he did here, where he's just like consistently in that 4, 5, 6 range, like holy shit.
I think he can, man. I don't know why we couldn't think otherwise. With the way he rode, and yeah, he had his sketchy moments. Everybody does. But, dude, he rides that 450 damn well. Not that he didn't ride the 250 well, but obviously he was so far on the edge all the time. But, like, he rides that 450 in he's very controlled. So I want to give RJ, if we're going to give Hunter and Jet all the credit in the world, I think my third man to give the next credit to, I want to give that credit to RJ, dude, because he had a hell of a season.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's move on. Like I said, to 250s here. Let's so Joe picks up the win, dude.
Sushi, Wasabi Joe.
Dude, Wasabi Joe. And
Joe.
And then, dude, how about that last turn pass on VL2?
Oh,
just to
bro.
make sure I also clinch the overall.
Yeah, dude. I mean that. Yeah, I mean JT when he was doing the post thing, like he was right. Like that corner decided a lot last night, and for a very basic, other than it being an elevated turn, so the bike's kind of lifted, so it's not really seated in. It defined a lot of what happened last night. But yeah, man, like I don't know, dude. Just all the credit in the world to Joe. Happy for him. He deserved it. I don't really give a shit what anybody says. And just even more so, the character that Joe continues to put out in the world, to not get sucked into the drama. And say what you want about how he rode, Hayden in during Supercross in some time, but that's just Joe is not. He's not willing to put up with the shit that is the Hayden Degan circus. All the credit in the world to continue to show that having character is more of a bigger deal in this world than having a and we can get to it when we talk about Hayden, probably a lot less fans now. The circus of social media influence. All the credit in the world to Joe, because the character, in my opinion, is more important than all this other crap that goes on with racing. And yeah, man, hats off to Joe. It's a long time coming. Probably should have more titles by now, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, if I was there, I'd give a round of applause because I'm so excited for that kid. But I mean, he's not even really in air quotes, a kid anymore because he's like 24 or whatever it is. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see him get his first title there. Man, dude, just he's come such a long way between saying that he doesn't speak English and all the credit to him for last night with dealing with the fucking Degan thing, dude. Like just. I
mean, one time he did one time, and that was after he got him in the lead, and then they were going into the first sweeper, and he kind of like stood it upright and popped up over the berm. But that was kind of after what transpired earlier on. Before that, you'd be like, "Hey, man, like I know you're there, even if you're gonna go around me, like I'm here, like I'm gonna shut the door on you a little bit." But outside of that, yeah, he didn't get sucked into the shit.
Yep, and dude just rode a great race, and even when Degan was trying to give it to him there for however many fucking laps or corners or whatever, dude, yeah. he was just cool, calm, and collective, and just didn't give a shit, and that was freaking awesome to watch. So, hats off to him. Good to see him actually get a title.
I think he's a favorite for 2 next year, man. Depending on what I mean, I think you could honestly say I don't think it really matters what coast he's on, but I mean, dude, I think he's going to be. I think it's hard to bet against him for if he rides like this next year, which now he's proven it. He won a title, he kept it together for the whole season. I think you could say he's the favorite to win both the Supercross and outdoor title next year, man.
He has to be at the current moment. So now, can he actually hold it together during like actual seasons like this? Well, who knows?
I mean, he did it for outdoors.
Who knows? But hopefully he's crossed that path, that barrier there, and he can hold it together. And yeah, dude, your guy Seth.
Oh,
I mean, if we don't get that 5 points, we tie.
Oh, dude.
And then dude, like, where the fuck are we, really? I don't know.
Bro, I almost a little bit of me was like almost, as much as I was happy for Joe, part of me was like, come on, dude. Mm-hmm. After the crap that transpired in the final round with RJ, I'm like, man, I don't believe in the whole karma thing and all that kind of stuff. But part of me was like, ooh, if something's going to happen, like, let Seth be the benefactor of all of this. Like, I think that he's owed one. And I don't know, man. Like, I'm gutted that it happened the way it did. But you're right. Like, if he doesn't get the penalty, he's
tied.
Yeah, I mean, so
and I don't
man.
know who gets it between the two of them, but they're tied.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But like with him dealing with a shoulder injury and just everything that Seth has been through, I don't know, man. You know that he's one of my guys, if not my guy in the 250 class, and I'm just happy for everything that him finishing out the year, for all the injuries and all the health stuff he's had to deal with pretty much since he's been in the B class now. So this is going on, quite a few years. And he's another dude, maybe not for outdoors. Like, he still needs to prove the help with inconsistency, but Supercross, same thing, man. Like, he's another guy you can look at and go, dude, if he rides like the way he did in Supercross this past year, he's another one of those that you like, speed for speed. Like, he's one of the favorites to win a Supercross title. So I don't know, man. Like, it's it's tough because I was like, dude, I'll be so happy for Joe, but I'm like, that's my guy, and he's owed one, but it's part of it. But yeah, man, I was stoked on it, and I think he's another guy that can look at it and go, hey, man, like maybe I got that last moto win because of the shit that just happened, but it doesn't matter. Like we know these guys will take everything that they can, and he's got some stuff to be positive with going into 2026.
Yeah, 100%. So, Vial still won't admit that he's leaving America, which I thought is funny.
Which is no secret.
I think it's funny that everybody knows he's leaving. Apparently, everybody knows this except Tom himself, because even Jason Thomas last night, like, hey, so you're obviously not going to be back here in America. So what do you think about your American stint? Oh, well, I'll be happy to be on a 450 next year.
I know.
Tom, we all know you're leaving, bro. Like, just get over it.
Dude, I'm sitting there. I'm like half-ass paying attention to it because, again, 1 a.m. I'm like half-ass paying attention to that interview because I was just interested to see what he said. Because, after I was pretty harsh on him in St. Louis, like, I will give him the credit. Like, he fought all the way through. He didn't kind of just mail her in when, like, he saw Seth and Joe and Degan walking away from him. He kind of, he just kept moving forward and did his thing. But, even when I heard that, I'm like, Tom, what the fuck are you like, what do you mean, bro? Everybody knows you're leaving. This has been a secret for like 3 months now.
Yeah.
Like, we all know you're going back home. Like, what are you doing, bro? Yeah, I'm so excited for the 450. Yeah, bro, we're excited. We know you're excited to never have to race the shit show that is Supercross ever again. Like, what do you mean, bro?
Yep. So, all right, let's start breaking down this Degan thing.
Oh boy,
we've been dancing around it. I've given some thoughts. I've obviously had the reaction show. So, the first 2 or 3, all right, cool, dude. We're trying something. We're trying.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We got to try something because, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I know you're going to disagree with this. In my opinion, just going out and just getting a hole shot and running away and winning the moto and just letting the chips fall as they may is a quitter move also, in my opinion. Because you got to try something. And again, I'm not saying you got to go out T-bone the guy's leg and break his tib fib. But you got to try something.
Yeah.
So, okay, sweet. So we tried something. We tried something again. We tried something again. And then after that point, I went, okay, so when does the AMA step in? When does the black flag fly? Because you cannot, as the AMA, and again, I'm going to try to get a hold of, I'm going to try to connect with somebody at the AMA, like Palantir or somebody here this week. Like, how close were we to you were going to throw a black flag on him? Because
you mean a la Chad Reed?
Yeah, because, like, dude, you can't allow this to continue to go on. It's a bad look as a sanctioning body. Like, they would never let Max Verstappen do this to anybody for more than a corner or two. Once you get beyond that,
it's like Stu said, it kept happening and it kept going and it kept going and it kept going.
Like, and again, I'm fine with you had to try something, dude. It's $500,000. I get it. You had to try something. But there came a point where you're like, okay, cool, this something isn't going to work. And you're going to have to put him on the ground, which, again, you're already under probation. We've covered this. So the eyes are on you. Everybody knows you're going to try to do something. So you really don't have much of an option other than to hope he really makes a mistake and that you could kind of force him into that, which... At that rate, too, okay, if you're going to try to force him into that, then just get right behind him, ride his rear wheel, and rev at him all the time.
Which rarely happens. Like, Joe doesn't really make those kind of mistakes anymore.
That's true, but being on probation, that's kind of what you're limited to, because otherwise you're going to get it anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like I said, in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, after move 3, I went, when are we black flagging him? Because you can't. It just looks terrible if you let this continue and continue and continue and continue. Now, we didn't even make it to the finish to even see if we were going to get a black flag at that point, because obviously,
I think it was coming.
Whatever. It had to have been, because he wasn't stopping. Like,
because we had 4 or 5 minutes plus 1 to go. So it was going to continue to happen because that's who Hayden is. And I think it was going to come. Yeah.
Now, I also look at it as like, bro, I give you credit for all the credit in the world for trying, but here's where the Degan fans start coming after me. Like, you just fucked yourself out of $200,000, dude. You could have taken it, finished second in points, won $250,000. Instead, now you're whatever it was, 10th in points or some shit like that. So
Yeah.
now you only won $30K or something. So like,
Yep.
cool. Make this a learning experience for yourself. And again, I know you don't really need the money. You're more worried about the title itself per se, but like, take this as a learning experience. Because I'm with you. Like, I've seen the reaction. Like, dude, the reaction people are having to my video comparatively to normal, which normally if I put something negative about Degan, you know how the comments go.
Yeah.
Fucking get off talking shit about this kid, blah, blah, blah. No. It is a lot of people like, bro, that was ridiculous. That was out of control.
I think, honestly, man, like, obviously I don't know the percentage, but I've seen it because, I also am on the forums and stuff.
Yep.
I think it's flipped, dude. Like, I don't know what the percentage would be because obviously I'm not a math person.
Yeah.
But I will say he lost a chunk of his supporters last night because even I'm seeing some of the most diehard Degan fans.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the ones that are the ones in our comments and every other podcaster's comments. They're like, get off Degan, or what's the stupid thing they always say, the DDS, the Degan derangement bullshit, like whatever.
Derangement syndrome, yeah.
I don't know, dude. I honestly believe that I think that this might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Even the diehard Degan supporters, they're done with it. Like, they were like, look, man, we've tried to support Degan, and we've always said, like, he is his own person, and he's good for the sport and this and that. But even, and I'm seeing the majority of it, I know you've probably seen it too, it's always the same thing. We're like, last night, clown show move. Like, we're done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, because I honestly thought, like, I knew he was going to lose some people, but I'm like, yeah, man, like, the diehards are going to continue to ride with him because, like, that's their guy. Like, that's their dude. This is the first one that we've seen, that has this kind of attitude or what. Not the first dude we've seen in this kind of attitude. Somebody at this level with this kind of attitude and following, this new era that we're in. And I'm like, yeah, they're just going to continue to support him because, like, that's their guy. And, we all know how all of us are. We're blind support when it comes to somebody that's, like, our guy.
Yeah.
But no, man, like, they flipped. Like, they're and I was like, whoa. I was like,
yeah.
He might have actually done more harm to his brand last night than I think that even he might have realized.
Well, like I said, I was surprised when I was scrolling comments this morning from the video, and it was a vast majority of not positive for Degan, like actually positive for me. And I was like, wow, this is different.
Well, I also think people are pissed that, like, oh, bro, and I know it's not a big deal to you, but this again proves my point that, like, some people really are like, it's a big deal that he just didn't screw himself. Well, he did himself, but screwed America for MX of Nations.
Yeah.
People are not happy about that either, man.
Yeah.
Like, they are not happy about that.
No.
And, yeah, I don't know, dude. It's really weird because, like, we all saw what happened with the Davies thing, and it was kind of like an in-the-moment thing, but then we're like, okay, people cooled off, even the ones that were booing him. Maybe some of them didn't come back, but, like, people were like, oh, okay, like, whatever, not a big deal. But I think because this is Joe, and Joe has pretty much always been a stand-up character, and people already loved Joe before this.
Yeah.
Because we're with Davies, he was kind of like the shiny new thing, like, oh, hey, man, this young kid, like, he's even younger than Hayden. He's coming in, and he's gonna set the world on fire. He's gonna be the next Hayden Degan, which is a weird thing to say considering Hayden is not even 20 yet, and he hasn't even been around that long. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like with Joe, like Joe's been here for a long time, and Joe is pretty much been a fan favorite probably since 2020. So, going on 5 years now. And people were like, yeah, man, like, it's one thing to race hard, and especially after what happened last weekend, but they're like, yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
That was real stupid. And
Yep.
oddly enough, as Will Christian liked to talk about, Brian, as he said, I just don't want him to get hurt and screw himself. What did he fucking do?
Yep. Nope. That's and again, he probably could come back for MXON. I mean,
I don't think he will, though.
It probably isn't that bad. If he got up and went to grab the bike like that before he realized it was broke, it's not that bad. So it could get plated. He could be back on the bike in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but even if he did, though, man, like how what's his percentage going to be? Even because I agree with you. Like, I don't know about you, but I've had messed up shoulder for a long time, shoulder, collarbone, rotator area, and stuff. Like it's it's not great, but if you're going to do something to your shoulder, that is obviously the one thing you would rather do it to than anything else.
Yep.
But even if he did do that, and I know that, Hayden is young and he can recover, and, he's obviously very, very fit and has the access to the doctors or whatever they can do for him, just shoot him up with a bunch of steroids. But, like, even if he did, though, it's not going to be the same, what can he really do against, when he races MX, GP in the open class.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, he's still probably going to do pretty well, but he's probably not going to, it's not going to be as big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will tell you one thing that really has been swirling around my brain here since last night. Mm-hmm. This right here is a prime example of he needs to go to 450s for Supercross next year, because if he loses that 250 Supercross championship next year, which is a possibility in my opinion,
especially depending on who's on his coast,
his stock goes way down. Down.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. I fully 100% agree with you. I mean, you know how I felt about it. I thought even before this, I think that it was kind of stupid to drop back down to 250s. I think you should just bump 450 at A1.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you're right, dude. Like, after this, I know that, it's Degan, and he's obviously still going to have a lot of support with it because it is Hayden, and he is a very, talented dude, and obviously he's already accomplished a lot, and whatever. But being the reaction that happened last night, and now taking a hit to his stock, and just just a fan standpoint, which we all know in the end is what all these companies drive for, because they're the ones that are putting the money behind things. And then you're right. If he goes and loses the Supercross title, which, as you said, is a possibility depending on who he's racing. Yeah, and it also kind of like all the hype that we put around him going into, it's him versus Jet. It's definitely, obviously, all of us know that actually know what the fuck's going on. No, it's never going to be like that. But, the media, they're going to be like, maybe it's not even him versus Jet. Like, can this kid even podium?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm writing down things for sections for videos. Dude, I mean, literally, like I said, as I'm watching that, I'm like, okay, so the thing for the last several years with him here obviously have been, he won the outdoor title, now he won Supercross, he won outdoors again, he's won 2 SMX titles, we're looking at number 3 here. Obviously, shit can happen, and again, him not winning this title, yes, was a little bit out of his control in a sense, because obviously Kitchen did what Kitchen did last week, and then he did what he did this week, and that caused the whole issue. Yeah. However, bro, that kind of stuff can happen, and it cannot even be that. It can be something as simple as you tip over in a turn and break your collarbone again like you did this week, and then you don't win a Supercross title again, and then you're hurt going into 450 outdoors. Just get on the 450, bro, because otherwise, like I said, if you don't win that 250 Supercross title, your stock goes down, in my opinion.
I think I agree.
I already think it's fallen off a bit with this, of like, hey, man, look, there's now liabilities to the game you're playing. You played stupid games and you won stupid prizes. The stupid game you played was you came in, you were kind of like just the humble guy the first year of Supercross, of like, I'm just here to learn, whatever, shrugging your shoulders type shit, right? And then you went outdoors, you started doing some things, and you started big dicking. And as soon as you started big dicking, you didn't stop big dicking, and you big dicked, and you big dicked, and you big dicked, and you big dicked, until we got to last weekend. And then we get to last weekend, and finally somebody said, no, my dick's bigger. And boom, swung that big fucking thing, and knocked you right the fuck off. And now that they've knocked you right the fuck off, I mean, that was a short fall with an abrupt stop here, because within a week, all of a sudden it was like, now you lost this. Now you're not a 3-time SMX champ in a series that we thought, he owned this in 250s. So, like, and we all know, the Degans themselves admit, he's not as good at Supercross. So, like, now you're going to go into something that you're not as good at, and, like I said, I just think there's too much of a risk if you go back to 250s for Supercross. There's too much of a risk of something happening to either fuck up your launch into 450s or dropping your stock a lot. So I think you have to.
And the optics are even worse because, it would have been one thing if you would have just hit the ground, got back up, got third or second or whatever. But again, what do we always say? If you're going to do this shit, you cannot put yourself on the ground. Well, he not only put himself on the ground,
he hurt himself.
But he went one step further and he got hurt. And that is the one thing, though. And you and me and Cole and everybody, we always go back and forth or whatever because we all have our viewpoints on it. But I think we can all 100% agree on what justifies what these sponsors want, but we all know 100% agree what they don't want is you can play these games cool if they work out, and even if they don't work out, you end up on the ground, you still do really well. It's when you put yourself on the ground and then you hurt yourself.
Yep.
And that is the one thing that, whether we all have a different viewpoint on what we think sponsors are looking for, I think we can, as a collective, can all agree that's something sponsors won't put up with.
Yeah, you cannot,
because now you're costing us money.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to be on track. So
yes, you have to be on track. Now, again, I think that it still would have been bad, but it wouldn't have been as bad had he not hit the ground like he did.
Yeah.
But the fact that he hit the ground just exploded it. So the optics aren't great. So, and we've talked about this with the 450s. Like, dude, look, you're in a class with a bunch of people outside of a few that are all your age. You're all kids. Like, you're all. You're all kids, you're all teenagers, like I said, outside of a few of them that are in their 20s, whatever. But you get to the grown man class, and they won't put up with that shit. And what Levi did to him last weekend is going to happen with everybody in the 450 class, except the difference is they're going to look at you like, oh, you're going to play that game? Yeah, dude, I don't really care where we're at, what we're doing, what place we're riding for. You start playing that shit with me, I'm going to put you on the ground. I don't care if we're racing for 10th or we're racing for 1st. Because, again, I know that we keep harping on this, and, people in our comments are like, you guys always bring this up. But Anderson and Barsha, and they're not the only ones, horrendous.
And Barsha's not racing for wins now. Barsha's racing for 10th place. So, like...
And like I said, Dylan, we know Dylan won't put up with that shit. Go ask Christian Craig.
Poor Dylan.
What's up?
Poor Dylan.
I know. But Dylan won't put up with that shit.
Nope.
Your teammate Coop's not going to put up with it. Again, Chase is not going to put up with it. We know Jet. Everybody's not going to put up with that. Hayden has gotten lucky that only one person outside of what Joe was doing earlier in the year has really actually decided to ride aggressive with him. You get to the 450 class, everybody's going to ride aggressive with you, and you're going to be put on the ground more often than not. You play those games. So he's gotten lucky in that sense, and I know that I always harp on that, but it's a fact. But to your point, though, do you actually think, though, that this actually might be a conversation now where you know what? Maybe we shouldn't, drop back down to the 250s. Maybe we should just bump it up to the 450 class.
I think it has to be, dude. I think it has to be. I think there has to be a conversation and some serious looking at, like, optic-wise, what does this do if we go back and even to win another 250 title there in 250 Supercross?
Which I don't think it means shit, to be honest with you.
No, it doesn't. Nobody fucking cares. So I think it has to be a conversation. And to be honest, I think, and I'll say this right now, and I'll say it again as we get into the season, depending upon how it goes. It's a huge miss if he doesn't just go 450s.
I think he needs to, and I think he needs to, and I think that he might as well just, what is the old saying, trial by fire. He needs to just step, dip his toes right into the deep end because we, as you said, and we all know this, even when that Supercross title, they will all tell you, he's not as polished in Supercross. Like, he's fast, obviously, but he's not as polished.
Yep.
Outdoors, a little bit different. I would put him on the higher end of things, but Supercross, I mean, we name dudes. I don't even think he's top 5.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so. I can name. I've named the 5 dudes that I think are all gonna beat him his rookie year, and some of those guys probably won't be there his second year. But yeah, I mean, dude, he's got to be worried about even being able to get into the top 5 consistently. His first year in Supercross. Like, he's not just gonna go in like, we're gonna go in and we're gonna podium. Now again, anything can happen. Shit, we've seen crazier shit.
Yeah.
But the likelihood of him going in, and obviously we know he's not gonna beat Jet. But the likelihood of going him into him beating Eli, him beating Chase, him beating Coop, him beating Kenny, him beating Hunter, and again, he's got to prove that he can beat RJ and J Coop. Like, dude, it's not gonna happen. He's not gonna get a shit start and come from 15th and just work his way into second in the 450 class. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
He's not a smart enough racer in Supercross. Let me preface that. In Supercross, for that to work like it did in the 250 class, because even we know that the dudes in Supercross, the privateers in 12th and 13th, Oh yeah, by the way, they're former champions in the 250 class.
Yep, exactly. Everybody's got the same resume as you, so good luck.
Yeah, so I totally 100% agree, and I've said that from the beginning, and I won't get off that soapbox. I think that he just needs to go 450 day one, man. When I heard the news that like, oh yeah, we're gonna drop back down for another year, I'm like, dude, outside of you just telling me that like, oh, he needs to learn more, that's your only leg to stand on. And again, I don't even see the point in that because it's like, oh, why don't we just learn trial by fire? Like we go in with the same attitude we did that rookie year. We're going in to learn.
Yep. That's the move you have to do. So
yeah.
All right, moving on from Deeks, kind of Rider D situation, scary to watch.
Dude, after when I saw the replay, because obviously the way it happened so fast, like at first I'm like the way Hayden was angling that, I'm like, fuck, he just landed on him. I didn't because the way it happened, the camera angle obviously wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then when we replayed it back and I saw the lag, and then he snaps back, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that was like that was just a bad optic of like just watching, because it would have been one thing if it just happened right away, but the fact that there was that delay of like, oh, he got hit, and then it took a second for it to sink in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I've seen that enough in MMA. I'm like, I know what that looks like. I'm like, that's a brain injury right there.
Yeah.
So
let's put it this way.
yeah.
I was ready to rip Degan's head off and shit down his throat for being a fucking moron when I saw that the first time. Then I watched the replay and realized, like, oh, no, like, that should have not happened. But when Rider D spun the rear end up there and didn't get out of the way, essentially, like, just a racing incident, a very, very unfortunate one, but just a racing incident, you know, because if Rider D gets the traction like he normally does, doesn't lose the rear end, he's out of there. Degan hits that, and we just go on. But the fact that he didn't, I was happy to see him get up. That was a thank God moment that he got up and, you know, got on the mule and stuff. But that was scary to watch there too. And like the even scarier thing is like he was out when the wheel hit him, and then the frame hit him, and that made his body just twitch in a super weird way. That was a weird one. That was weird. It was scary. What a weird situation. Hopefully he heals up. Poor Rider D, man. Just cannot.
Oh, dude, he was riding so good too.
Cannot catch a break at all. So, okay. Let's bust out the TLR tinfoil hat here.
Okay.
Was there really something wrong with Kitchen's bike?
Yeah, I believe so. Only because of where the fact of the section that happened in, the chance of him wanting to really, if you know, because I've seen the same thing, not as much, but I've seen the people that are like, oh, it's very convenient or whatever because of, you know, the him and Joe thing, and the same thing we all heard with St. Louis. If that had been anywhere else on the track, I'd have been like, yeah, you know what? Okay, even though I don't agree with you, you have a point, but there's no way in hell he's going to take a chance of doing that on that step down because so many things could go wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I also look at it to a point, too, of like he was really trying to sell it, which is why he ended up 21st, because he was just like, yep, screw it. Because, I mean, I'm sure you've heard what I've heard, and I don't know, maybe you've heard more. Like, there was words multiple times between him and Deegs this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I heard it. Yep.
So,
even before practice.
Yeah. So like that storm there is a brewing. And that's another one. That's another thing too of like Deegs has made so many enemies in this class. Like, bro, you got to get out of this class right now. Like, you got to go to 450s and just humble down for a couple of years here to lower the temperature, because otherwise you're going to end up with more shit like you had in St. Louis.
Well, and I don't want to backtrack, but like we kind of didn't even talk about this, but I'll just be really quick with it. If we go back to Hayden. That was another thing, too. The whole Levi thing, I understand it, dude. You wanted payback, but, bro, you're better than Levi. You've been better than him all year, other than maybe a few motos. The back and forth, and then him looking over. But that wasn't even my biggest beef. My biggest beef, crossing over on Seth.
Oh, yeah. Well,
bro.
I didn't understand any of that. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing?
This is exactly what I was talking about. That whole entire second moto, I was like over it right from the beginning. I was over it with the kitchen thing. Good. Look, I get it. He wanted a little bit of payback, but it's like, bro, You went around him, you dropped him. Like, okay, now you're looking back, now you're checking up. Like, what is the point of this? Just go to the front, and then, like, if Joe catches you, then, like, whatever, even though I disagree with it, do whatever you're going to do. And then the whole thing with Seth. And originally, when I saw it in real time, and that's why I went back and watched it, I'm like, okay, he spun, bike lifted a little bit, he leaned to the outside, and that's why we drifted. But, like, you go back and watch it a second time, and I'm like, no, he purposely shifted to the outside. I'm like, bro, why of all sections would you plan on? I was like, no, I'm over it. I'm already over it. So yeah, that just drives home the point of like, dude, the whole entire second moto, Hayden was just riding like a complete asshat. So that was yeah. Go ahead, dude. I have no problem. Like, if people want to flame me in the comments,
I want that cut to a short.
Yeah,
just
I have no problem with it. Like,
whatever was within the last 30 seconds here. So,
like I said, man. I went back and watched the second moto just to see, because obviously in real time there was so much going on that, like, obviously you're watching it, your emotions are a little bit high. Yeah. So I went back and watched it just to make sure I saw what I thought I saw. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was just stupid. I just don't know what he was doing the whole time. So yeah. Anyways, move on to kitchen.
Neither does he. But anyway, yeah, back to kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You could convince me, kind of like Flat Earth, you could convince me that Kitchen was letting Joe have it and sold it really, really hard by just backing off. And to be honest, with the way things have gone with PC this year, I could see him going back to the truck and looking at Mitch and being like, hey, man, this is what I did. And Mitch being like, good. Because Mitch is not a fan of it either. So
no, I mean, dude, if that's what he did, if that's honestly what he did, I mean, I don't know if you're asking me, do I have a problem with it? If that's what he did, no, I don't. I don't have a problem with it. Like, if that's where we're going with this, like, if that's really what he did, no, I don't have a problem with it at all. Like, good on him. We know that him and Joe are buddies. We know that they ride together now since Joe moved to Florida full time. Like, good for it, dude. Like, if that's what he actually did, which we'll never know, but if that's what he did. I don't really have a problem with it because, like you said, Levi, like, he'd go back to the truck with Mitch after, especially what happened, and go like, "Hey, man, I did what I did. Hope you're not pissed, Mike. It is what it is." And yeah, I totally agree. Mitch would go, whatever.
Yeah, because like I said, Mitch
is over it. Like, he's over it. Like, he's probably sick and tired of, outside of Ty, all of his dudes getting slammed by Degan.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else with 250s you want to talk about?
It's going to be really, really quick, but, dude, Davies needs a hard reset right now.
Okay. The fucking tough block thing, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like,
he needs a hard reset, bro.
Why are the tough blocks even that close to the landing on that jump, dude? Like,
well, then Dax almost has a moment too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, dude, there was a lot of people that almost had moments. My thing is like the outdoor section there, why do we have tough blocks, period? Like,
yeah, man.
We don't have tough blocks at fucking pro motocross. So
yeah,
like,
and you can't have a step down double where dudes are going third gear wide open and even checking up as hard as they are with as much lift as they get and the way that angles, like the way the bike's gonna load when it hits the ground, like you can't have that, because 9 times out of 10, if they come off the lip just a little bit, like, shifted to the outside, like, dude, you're going to hit the ground and you're going to bounce to the outside. And obviously we saw a ton of dudes do it in time qualifying and even in the motos. Yeah, man, like, that could have, I mean, I don't know, first off, outside of him being young, I don't know how the hell Davies, like, walked off after that, because, like,
no idea.
He bounced up and, like, defied gravity for a little bit. And then Dax, like, dude, Dax almost had a huge one, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, well, dude, that Jordan Smith one was fucking gnarly, too.
That was another one. Like, dude, again, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, after I saw that.
Jordan's not young, so I don't know how Jordan got up from that, because I watched that, Davies, all of it, and I'm like, oh my God, I heard already. Just
like, when Jordan got up and his shoulder just dropped, I'm like, and then when I saw that he was riding, I'm like, Jordan, like, bro, you're going to the 450 class near, you probably should just call her a day.
Yeah, like, let's just
call her a day, bro. And then Davies have his issue in the motos. I don't know, man. Like, that situation obviously is a different topic, but yeah, I think Davies needs a hard reset, man. I'm glad that he came back and got some experience outdoors, but if he never would have showed up for the last 3 SMX rounds, it wouldn't have hurt my feelings. Like, I think that he needs a hard reset because he hit the ground way too many times in SMX.
Yeah. So, dude. Okay, let me holster co reload rant this one here. The wild card races, dude. We got to do something different.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 10 dudes go the line. 9 of them are going to make the show.
I think this is another thing we need to,
tweak.
or not us, but they need to reevaluate.
Yeah, because it's like that, dude. The look on that is like this is dumb.
A shit show. It's a joke.
Yeah, like why are we even having this race? Like, and I know their thing was, well, we're only like in their mind and in a perfect world, right? You would have 1 through 20 would all be healthy, and they'd all be in the same class they were all year. So they would.
And that's never going to happen. Let's be real. We know that's never going to happen.
So they would come and race. Then you've got 21 through 31 or 21 through 30, whatever, are all healthy, and they're going to come. They're all going to come, and they're going to ride the wild card race. And you're going to take 2 of them, and that's it. So you're going to have essentially an LCQ, even though we're going to call it wild card now. We're going to have an LCQ. Okay, fine. Yep. No problem. This is part of your Complete Racing Solutions halftime report, by the way, here. Even though we're not really doing the show the normal way, but Complete Racing Solutions, make sure to check them out. Coach Rob's Elite Racer Series. If you're a pussy or a lunatic, don't bother applying. If you're a normal person who wants to put in work and actually get some good race results and need some help from it, their Elite Racer development, whatever the hell it is they do. I'm blanking on the name right now because I'm freeballing this. Go check it out, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Link in the description down below. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, dude. We again talk about another thing like the tracks that need to be reevaluated. The fucking wild card needs to be reevaluated. And why don't we ride the wild card on? Why don't we ride the wild card on Friday? And then that way those guys can actually qualify with the dudes on Saturday.
Yeah, well, and another thing, too, is not only with the positions thing and what you said, because I totally agree with that as well. The other issue, too, is that usually in the 250 class, it's more than likely you're always going to probably have 1 or 2 top dudes. This year, we just happen to have 3 of them in Ty, Max, and Dax.
Yeah.
We know that outside of that very first round, and that was Ty just wanted to, as you said a few times earlier this show, big dick it. He really wanted to win it. Those 3 dudes are obviously, are where they are, and they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? As long as we're not, just battling through the pack, we're just going to kind of sit here and just freight train for the entire race. So it's like, the whole point of these LCQs were supposed to be exciting and crazy, and it's like, they never are.
No, they're not. They're not at all. And again,
and the 450s is even worse.
Well, and like even who was it? There was somebody I was listening to an interview today, and they were like, "Yeah, this really needs to be revamped because they're like how fucked is it that Master Pool goes out there, qualifies first, and then ends up with like whatever it was because he won. I mean, he won the LCQ, so 13th, 14th gate pick or whatever. Like, and they were the ones that were like, dude, like just race these stupid wild card races on Friday. And then on Saturday, we'll just qualify. Which realistically, if you think about it, actually ends up working, right? Because if you do that, then you could have the SMX Next kids do a practice and a first moto during the day. Because obviously we have time. We have these 2 segments of time. So now you could have that, which means the SMX kids could get 2 motos per weekend also. And like, here's my other thing. I know KTM, Holster Co. Reload rant on our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report on our show brought to you by Rev X Products. Check them all out. Links in the description down below. My other Holster Co. rant. I know KTM pays you a shitload of money for KTM juniors. Mm-hmm. These 3 races, we don't need fucking KTM juniors. These should all be SMX Next races.
Agreed.
All of them should be SMX.
Yep.
The fact that the finals in Vegas, I don't have the SMX Next guys racing is fucking dumb.
Yeah, I mean, they do enough junior races during the year in Supercross.
Yep. Like, sorry, I know you're throwing this in here. Like, there's no way KTM paid more money to have a race at SMX. There's just no way. KTM doesn't have any money anyway, so you're doing it as a bonus program. Cool. Sorry, the bonus program's over. We need the SMX Next kids because we need real fucking racing.
Yeah, and I mean, with the way the craziness of how the last moto in St. Louis went with Ryder Milanowski winning it. I mean, yeah, dude, like, say what you want about what goes on during those SMX Next or whatever races, but like, still, it's like, it's crazy, Yeah. And, I don't know, man. This is the between that and the LCQs and the point structure. I think it needs a little bit of a revamp. Like it's like, hey, man, we have a good structure. Yeah. Now we need to revamp. We need to revamp of how we're going to build these tracks. We need to revamp the location, and we need to revamp the points and all that kind of stuff. So it's like you have a good base. So it's not like they need to throw everything out the door. That's not what I'm saying. They have a good base. They know some things that work. Now we need to tweak it a little bit because if they don't tweak it, and I'm not saying they're not going to, because as much as we're hard on, Feld and the AMA or Dave, whoever you want to pin the blame on this of, and it's not even blame. It's just constructive criticism.
Yeah,
we know that they will tweak things. This is what you need to tweak.
Yep.
And if they don't, then we're going to have a problem. Then there's going to be a lot more of this talk because I've already seen it enough. And I'm sure you've seen the same thing. It's all the same shit we all see.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's just a few things we need to go in and tweak. But I think the biggest thing that they need to address first and foremost is location. Location.
Yeah.
Get away from these stupid drag strips.
Yeah, and my thing is, too, is like, okay, if you're going to do this, right, and I've been thinking about this a lot, we'll just keep going down this path because we're in our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. The thing I've been going down a lot with these, and even my big thought about this has been outdoors, right? So outdoors, you basically have at this point, it's funny because we've been talking about this for years, but it's starting to gain more traction in the rider paddock of people talking about it, where they're like, dude, outdoors, nobody gives a shit. Like nobody gives a shit. The premier title to win is Supercross. The SMX Playoffs, okay, cool, you're throwing a bunch of money at us. That's fine because you're throwing a bunch of money at us. If you weren't, we'd be like, fuck these things too. We'd be injured, we'd be out, whatever. So my thing is like, okay, if you're going to continue to do outdoors and you think you're going to continue to run them in the way you are and you want to continue to get like crowd turnout and things like that, right, and get people to buy in, you got to start looking at it as you're throwing an event. And what I mean by an event is, in Cole's infamous things, think grid life. Like, this is going to be a thing where it's a party and a race happens type deal, And I'm not saying it's got to be wild parties like back in the day at these nationals, right? We don't need to flip school buses and light them on fire. But you got
porta potties on fire.
Yeah, but you got to get that festival vibe going. You got to get live entertainment at night. You got to get that kind of stuff going, in my opinion. And in my opinion too, like, you have to do that with these SMX rounds, and you have to go to places where you can have it, because like the St. Louis one where there wasn't the Friday stuff like there is at all the other rounds, to me that's a huge miss. Like the part of the SMX vibe here has been that it's essentially like a weekend festival at this race type deal, right? Like there's entertainment, they have podcast matchup, you've got the Friday practice, you've got Friday meet and greets there where it's like it's much more relaxed because the guys can just kind of be there. They've got whatever it is, 1 or 2 practices Friday and then 1 or 2 practices Saturday, whatever. So like the weekend for them is much more relaxed and it's much more of a fan experience. Okay, cool. Well, if you're going to do that, then like you need to go to that next step of it in order to make this a thing, which is, again, get that festival vibe going. Get some headliner music names in there. I mean, there was plenty of them there at Vegas last night. Like, let's get some of these people doing some stuff there. There's plenty of people out there that know what Supercross is, that are big fans, that like when SMX comes around, they're still like, okay, cool. They may not be pro motocross fans, but they're Supercross fans. So like, let's get some people in there singing. Let's get some concerts going.
You mean like Bailey Zimmerman, who apparently is like the biggest fucking Cooper Webb fan ever?
Dude, they're fucking tight, bro. They're so fucking tight. I don't know if that's true.
I don't have a problem with Bailey Zimmerman. Like his music, it's pretty good for what it is. But like that was just like I kept seeing that, and obviously he was there last year, and he was at a couple Supercrosses.
Yeah.
But like when I saw the whole Coop thing, I was like, oh, had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. So, but like I said, you gotta go more festival vibes, dude. You gotta go more festival vibes, in my opinion. So.
And I mean that obviously, if we ever had time, we could obviously do a whole show on that, all of us, and we could even have other people on, just kind of because obviously we've talked about this before, but never done like a show on it. We could definitely give our ideas, but I think that we definitely know the biggest thing would be with these tracks at the Nationals, with being where there are, is just it's the infrastructure of building these things.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going to do that, and I've said this for a long time because it's what I grew up with. I think that we need to go back to the 2-day format. We need to structure it a little bit, but the 2-day format, not go back to Saturday, Sundays like the GPs because these dudes still need a day off and a time to fly or whatever.
No, it's got to be
But
a
we're already
Friday,
there on
Saturday.
Fridays.
Yeah, it's got to be a Friday, Saturday. Yep.
Yeah. We're already there on Fridays. Like, you get all these families that come in, just bump up their race day or whatever you're going to do with them on Thursday because not even all these tracks even give them a race day. Like, Redbud people, I don't think understand how lucky they are
Yep.
that they get to race on Fridays. I know Paula does it and Hangtown does it, but, like, not everybody gets to do that.
Yep.
But just bump it up to Thursday. No big deal. Do something on Sunday like you always do. And just do a 2-day format. Have Friday a practice day like it used to be, except it was on Saturday, and the race on Saturday, which it used to be on Sunday.
Yep.
And just make it a more relaxed thing, because that's another thing. Like, I know that some of these guys would kind of look at it and go like, I don't know if we want to do that, but I think if they looked and actually realized that it's not much different of what they're already doing, because they're there for press day.
Well, well, the thing
I was
too,
just going to say that they were like, it'd be more relaxed. It would be like, okay, this is not a rush. We're not freaking out. Like, you know.
Well, the thing too is everybody kind of, you know, like rider wise, they panic. Oh man, now I got to be here an extra day early and blah blah blah. Okay, cool. So that's an extra day that you don't have. Like, what do we talk about? Like some of the number one things here that are going to help. Overtraining. One of the best ways that we could improve things is if we could somehow figure out a way to make these guys not train four days a week. Okay, cool. Well, guess what? We figured it out. You take away a day because now they all have to travel on Thursday. Doesn't matter who you are, you all got to travel on Thursday. Yep. Then you get to Friday. Friday you run 2 30-minute practice sessions for each thing, 250 and 450.
It's just a chill practice. It doesn't even mean anything. It doesn't even mean anything.
Yep. No times necessarily. I mean, you can keep times, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. You do
nobody's gonna really give a shit.
2 30-minute sessions where you can test. Where you can test at the track.
Yep.
Okay, great, awesome. So now you have a test day built in every single week with the team because the team's got to be there anyway. So you got a test day built in every single week. It's much more relaxed. You get to Saturday. Now, Saturday morning, we've only got to do one practice in the morning. Cool, awesome. We do one 20-minute practice in the morning.
Yep.
To set a fast lap, get gate position.
Just like the GPs.
Yeah, and then we go race 2 motos, dude.
The only difference is that on Friday, which would be their Saturday, we don't have a qualifier. We have 2, as you just said, we'd have a warm-up on Saturday morning and I'd have the motos. And, oh, hey, by the way, something that we've always talked about with these dudes, and this would be the perfect way to do it because we wouldn't be having the amateur races, we could also do a version of EMX.
Yep.
On Friday, whether you want it to be 125s, 250s, whatever you want to do, however you want to structure it. If you want to flip-flop back and forth, we could figure out a way to do EMX or our version of whatever you'd want to call it.
SMX next, and for outdoors women's, you run one. You run one moto of theirs on Friday, in between the practice sessions. You run one moto there for each of them, and then you run one moto Saturday for each of them before the actual motos start because we have a bunch of time in the morning now.
Yeah, and I think we could also sprinkle in a 125 because I think if you told a bunch of people, it wouldn't have to be every round.
Yeah.
It could be a pick and choose. We'll do a 125 because there'd be nobody in the pits that would be like, yeah, I don't think it's a great idea to have more 125s. You know, everybody would lose their freaking minds. You get to see all these schoolboy kids, so everybody would like it.
Yep.
Like I said, doesn't have to be every round. You could pick a few rounds. You know, if you want to do it at the opener, you know, Redbud, Millville, whatever.
Yep.
And yeah, dude, I think that you would bring in even more fans. It would be more of the people in the pits in the industry would be like, okay, like it's a little bit more relaxed. It's not as rush. And again, you get more of these SMX kids out here. You get the women out here. You get some of these 125 kids that are transitioning to SMX.
Yep. And
it's like, again, for the fans, it's more time you get to see the top dudes ride because they're going to be out there twice on Friday. So it's like instead of a bullshit, 15 minutes or 20 minutes we get for press day.
Yeah.
And, you know, none of them, like, rarely any of them are really even doing anything. They're just out there, you know. So, yeah, no, dude, I think that's a perfect thing. I think that would be a perfect way to do things. And yeah, I don't know, man. I really hope that would be something people would put in the ears of everybody because I think that it would be a great way to, you know, usher in this new age of the way we're doing the series now.
Yeah, and then do you think, okay, so as long as we're going down this path here a little bit, do you think that Supercross should be a 2-day thing too? Should we be a Friday, Saturday on Supercross too?
I mean, it's what we used to do back in the day, so why not, man?
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
Again, you could do one 30-minute practice Friday, and then you do one qualifying session Saturday. Now all of a sudden, instead of having to be there from 8 o'clock in the morning till fucking midnight, now we got to be there at noon until 10 p.m. or whatever it is. You know, like, makes the day way, way better. Now, I have heard that we're going to cut out, possibly, allegedly, entertainment purposes only here, that we're going to cut out free practice for Supercross. We're going to go down to just 2 sessions. So
yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I think that for the guys, and this would be a good way to combat this for the guys that don't get to do media on Friday or press day or whatever the hell you want to call it, all of those things. Let's be real. All the dudes that do press day, by the time they get to, like, when they do the free practice, it's kind of just like, yeah, you know, whatever. Like, we don't really need it. You know, like I said, for the dudes that don't, and, you know, obviously this is all the privateers. But if they get to ride on Friday and they get to do a session or whatever, dude, because honestly, I've always looked at the free practice and I'm kind of just like, in Supercross, man, like, we really don't need it because we already have such a condensed time on Saturday for, like, track work, especially when we go east when it's soft. Yeah. So it's like, I don't. And no, and let's be real, outside of the one dudes that take a little bit through the day to really get going and get loosened up, which,
Jorge,
you know, there's only a, well, not even Jorge. You know, there's a few dudes that you could name, but, like, they can adjust. Free practice doesn't really mean anything to anybody. Like, let's be honest.
No, and these guys are doing everything by second lap anyway. So it doesn't matter. I think it'd be cool if we could go to a 2-day Supercross format, and then you could do the SMX Next kids at half the rounds, and maybe like 85s or Super Minis or something at the other half, something like that. But at the same time, whatever. And again, too, okay, you as companies, Feld and MX Sports want to make more money. Well, there's no better way to make more money than add another day. Yeah. So
I mean, honestly, you know, I mean, everybody's already there anyway, so why not?
I mean, that's exactly the thing, especially with Supercross. Like, dude, the track's built Thursday because they ride press Friday first thing in the morning. So if you have this, and again, too, you can build press right into that also. So, like, there's no downside. And now, instead of just offering it to limited people, well, now you have this. And again, now you sell a 2-day ticket. So now, and again, that's an option. You can offer an option for a 2-day ticket. They don't have to buy a 2-day ticket. They can buy a Saturday only, but you can buy that option. And yeah, I don't know. To me, it just makes sense.
And honestly, like, for example, and I'll just throw the 2 names because, you know, one of them, you know, both of these people obviously, you know, close in the situation. Like, do you think somebody like Kevin Mitchell are going to be like, yeah, man, we want less time on track?
Yeah, no. And again, go back
to if you told Kev, like, hey, bro, you're going to get more time on track on Friday, but it's not going to be anything towards the night show on Saturday. Yeah. Are you going to say no? And he'd be like, no, I'm not going to say no.
You have 30 or 40 minutes on Friday that's
to just ride around,
timed to literally figure out the track and test stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome.
There's nobody that's going to say there's nobody that's actually trying to make a living at this that's going to say no.
No. Like, this works out better for the privateers, works out better for the promoters. Maybe the factory riders aren't stoked on it, but
they don't even have to do the whole session then, man.
You get paid, deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, deal with it. You're getting paid lots of money. But even if they don't want to, like, it's not like we're gonna like, oh, it's mandatory that you got to do the whole 30 minutes or whatever we're gonna give you.
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro, if you want to pull off at minute 18 and just ride back to the pits, again, there's no stipulation on this. It doesn't mean anything towards the night show on Saturday.
Yep.
Be my guest. It's not like we're making you do it. It's an optional thing. But again, nobody's gonna turn down more track time. It's just how much track time do they want. But you're like, yo, dude, if you want to do the whole thing, go for it. If you're Cooper Webb or Jet Lawrence or whoever, insert name, and you're like, yo, bro, 15 minutes is good for me on Friday, cool. You don't have to do the whole damn session. We're not forcing you to do it.
Or like, how cool would it be? And again, this has been brought up on Gypsy Tales before. Like, how cool would it be of, like, okay, cool. Now, instead of it being hectic because it's a 10-minute session, they pull in, they're trying to super quickly make an adjustment or whatever. They pull in, you get actual audio of Jet saying, hey, the bike's doing this, and this. You get to watch them make an adjustment, and, like, boom, we're off. You know, like again, there's content there that can be monetized / used. Like, there's so many good things to this. It's just a thing.
Well, And how many of these dudes, and you know, this is the last thing I'll say, but you brought up a good point too, and it's you know, it is a big deal in my opinion. You brought up the 10-minute thing, you know, because 10 minutes for these dudes on a supercross track, again, they get the shit figured out on, you know, by fucking lap 3 or whatever lap. But like 10 minutes, you're like, yo, especially if you had a bad session, you know, if you were working towards your chassis or gearing or whatever you're doing in the first session, it wasn't great. Second session, okay, I got 10 minutes. Especially if I don't jump out front. Now I'm in the pack. Now I got to work my way through. How many times do we see these dudes that if they don't put it on the board within the first 5 minutes, they get all gung-ho and they get, you know, fucking, they go to 11 and they all freak out and they're like, oh man, I got to put in a heater. And how many times do we see these dudes hit the ground?
Yeah. Well,
because they're like, they start freaking out that they're running out of time because 10 minutes is not enough for some people that take a little bit to get going. Yep. And they all hit the ground and they're like, well, that's cool.
Yep. Well, and two, how cool would it be? Again, harping back to the media and other stuff you can monetize. How cool would it be to watch Jet Lawrence sitting there watching an iPad, watching Cooper Webb's lap, going, "Oh, he just did that right there. Well, hold on, give me my bike. Let me go try this." Yeah. And then boom, he goes and tries it, busts something out. There's endless options.
Kind of like what Formula One does?
Yeah.
With everything?
Yeah. You mean where they're sitting in the car with the screens on the fucking thing? Yep. Mm-hmm.
You mean literally exactly everything we just said was pretty much the exact way Formula One goes about the race weekends? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's weird. It's weird how that model works.
Harping back.
It's really weird, right?
Harping back to the SMX thing, I think we need to very, very carefully study what Formula One does on a weekend and just figure out how to do that.
Yeah, really, really weird how a billion-dollar organization has made it work for so long. Like, who would have thunk it, right? Like, who would have thought that's the best model you could come up with for motorsports? It's odd, man. It's very, very odd. It's very weird. Yeah, super strange. And now they're going to get a whole bunch of money from Apple to broadcast the races next year. Really weird. Yeah, they're going off of ESPN. Well, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's pretty much confirmed. Apple is going to pay them a whole fuck ton of money to do the races on Apple next year. Now they're still going to have their Formula One app, and they're still going to do all the highlights and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
But ESPN basically couldn't match what Apple wanted to do, and
that's not a surprise. Disney's hemorrhaging money, so they can't afford shit right now.
Yeah, I know, and they just paid a whole lot of money for WWE events. So yeah, that went up, lost a lot of money there. Well, I didn't say lose money, but yeah, Apple's pretty much going to be it. So yeah, again, really weird that a multi-billion-dollar organization just has the right formula and knows how to do things. It's odd.
Yep, very odd. So, okay, so before I let you go here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 450 names.
Okay.
I'm going to say the name. And I want you to, overall for the entire year, I want you to think about the entire year for them, Supercross, Motocross, SMX. And I want you to give me either a positive or a negative rating.
Okay. Just positive or negative? No, just say it's either positive or negative?
Yep. If you think the season overall was a positive or a negative for them. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Cooper Webb.
Positive.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you won a championship, so.
Yeah. Eli Tomac.
This pains me to say it, negative.
Okay. Chase Sexton.
Negative.
Okay. Jet Lawrence.
Positive. I mean, honestly, man, I know that you don't want a whole explanation, but it's really hard with anything Jet does these days to say negative.
Yeah, I mean, outside of not winning Supercross this year.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, he still won 2 more titles.
Yeah,
for sure. So positive.
Hunter Lawrence.
Positive.
Okay, good. So yeah, we're basically on the same page there, essentially. So
you have the same thing as all of them on mine? Positive for Coop, negative for Eli Chase, and then positive.
Yeah, if anything,
Eli
and Webb. I don't know. I mean, Tomac got hurt, so Tomac I think is a negative. If anything, I would say that Webb was kind of like let's go with a middle ground, like a meh, even though I didn't say that was really an option. But, yes, positive, he won Supercross. But, let's face it, went to do all the outdoors, got hurt, couldn't do all the outdoors, and it was real kind of meh. I know he was happy with what he was doing, but it was real kind of meh. And then, I mean, and I guess you would have to go positive with Webb because the thing with Webb is Webb The only thing Webb cares about is Supercross, dude. He doesn't care about the rest of this. Like, let's be completely honest. He could not give a shit less about SMX or outdoors. He wants to win Supercross titles, and that's it. So,
and I mean, also, if we put the emphasis on the 450 Supercross title being the premier title, it is kind of hard to give a guy a negative for the one who won it. No matter how he won it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he won it. So it's kind of, if and I'll agree. I do agree with what you said about outdoors and SMX. If you want to be critical, but like it is hard because we do put so much emphasis on the 450 Supercross title as, being the premier title, at least over in this country.
Yep.
So for the guy to win it, for us to say, oh, he won it, but it's still a negative, it's kind of like, yeah. The Eli one is hard for me because it is Eli, but I'm going to be honest, man. Like, with all the hope that we had for him, and I know that he got hurt in Supercross, and that definitely played him, and obviously getting older. But because it's Eli, it is hard considering he never fucking won, with outdoors, with how outdoors went.
Yep.
And then Chase, man, I know he took it down to the wire, but let's be real, he should have won coulda, shoulda, woulda, but he probably should have won the Supercross title, and he didn't. And then outdoors had its moments, but it wasn't great.
No,
Chase's
year was
definitive.
negative.
Yeah, it was only the definitive, and then Jet and Hunter, it's really hard to say anything negative about them. Because I do like this, and this could maybe be a new segment or just a little blurb that we do. I will only add one more name to that, and I do want your opinion on this.
Sure.
Ken Roczen. Because it is Kenny, so I think we need to take into account what he does in his career and where he's at.
Hold on, let me go. I just want to look at Ken's results in Supercross. That's all I want to do here, because I don't remember Supercross enough. I mean, I remember he got hurt, so I just want to see. Yeah, so I just want to see what the results were outside of that.
Okay.
You know what? With Kenny, I'm gonna go positive, man.
Me too.
Because, like, when you go back and look at results, right? And, like, the one thing that I remember from the season with Kenny is Tampa, where he, landed in chain or whatever. But you run down results. Anaheim 1, 2nd. San Diego, 4th. Anaheim 2, 2nd. Glendale, 3rd. Tampa, 21st. Detroit, 2nd. Arlington, 2nd. Daytona, 1st. Which I completely forgot he won Daytona.
So did I.
Indy, 7th. Birmingham, 5th. Seattle, 4th. This is when we're hurt now. Foxborough, 4th. Philadelphia, 3rd.
Still, though, those aren't bad. Like, if he's in the top 5, those aren't bad.
No. East Rutherford, 7th. And then Pittsburgh, 6th. And then, obviously, he missed the last couple 3 rounds.
But he was so hurt by that. He was so hurt by then.
So, like, I'm going to go positive because, again, Kenny's another one like Coop. All he gives a fuck about is Supercross, right? He does the SMX playoffs because, as he says, in his own words, literally, it's a lot of fucking money they're paying. I'm going to show up and race. So, like, okay, he does those. I don't know that he necessarily expects to win, especially this year because he was so hurt. So he didn't have a lot of prep time, and he's to the point in his career where I think he's very realistic with his finishes there. Obviously, outdoors, all he did was Unadilla, which was 13th, and that just is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go positive for Ken Roczen though, because man, dude, you just run down. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 podiums and a win in whatever it was rounds there, 15 rounds. So like, okay, so like basically 50% of the time you're on the box.
And let's not forget, until Tampa happens, Kenny's in that title hunt, bro.
Yep, 100%.
Like, Tampa doesn't happen, and things might have got real interesting there. And obviously now he got hurt, and that is what it is. But like, again, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yep.
But if you look back and you go, oh, if he doesn't have that issue in Tampa, like chasing Coop, like that could have got real interesting. And the one thing we want to, we always give Kenny credit for is like, look, man, like you get down to those final rounds, and if Kenny's ever in it, he makes things spicy, so I don't know, man. I got to agree. I really got to agree, and I know that everybody's going to get in the comments like, well, you guys are Kenny homers. Like, whatever, dude.
Yep,
like, cool,
sure,
fine.
Whatever. Don't care.
You gotta give Kenny credit, dude. Like, I think that he had a great year. Obviously, he would have liked a better year, but with what Kenny does at this point in his career and everything that has happened to him, yeah, man, I think it's a big positive. I think it's a positive just in the sense that even if he hadn't won Daytona, which you're right, totally forgot he won Daytona, the fact that he was even in the title hunt to begin with at all.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Like, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And Kenny will even tell you the way he approaches races and seasons now, that, like, the fact that he was even in the title hunt at all at any point, I don't know, man. I think that Kenny had a really positive season. And, yeah, dude, like, I don't know. I think anytime Kenny wins a race or is, in the title hunt at all,
yeah,
I think that's a good season for him.
I think so, too. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so with that is our 2025
Holy shit.
season review here. We will have some off-season shows here. Probably do a little Des Nations wrap up here in a couple of weeks. I'll talk some other off-season stuff. I have some off-season shows, a couple right now, kind of lined up with some people, including an AMA official that goes to races and flags at Supercross and Motocross and has been at all three SMX. So he's going to come in studio here. I'm working on Tim Ritchie at Redbud. We're trying to get him on at some point here. So that'll be fun to get some insight into how Redbud works and stuff. Yeah, and I guess with that being said, Justin, thanks for coming on tonight. I'm going to do a couple other little things here and get this wrapped up. So appreciate it, bud, and we will see you, if not before, we'll see you in December here for Supercross preview show, buddy.
Always a good show, brother. Always a good show. And thanks, everybody, for watching the entire year. And, just another year down.
All right. Thanks, bud. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Love you.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. That was Justin, everybody. Oh, God. I got to get those off my head. It hurts so bad. Is the members chat going over there?
A little bit. There's not been very much.
What do we got? Anybody say anything?
Yeah, so...
Anybody tell me they love me?
No.
That's bogus.
Yeah, they don't love you. I'm sorry, Travis.
All right. What are they saying?
Well, when we first started, it showed up upside down. And so...
Oh, that's because you had the thing plugged in the wrong side of the computer. That wire that runs from the switchboard to the computer there, if you plug it in the opposite side of whatever side you set it up for to start with, so whatever way we set that up, wherever that was plugged in last time, that USB-C that runs the switchboard, if it's plugged in where it's plugged in right there, and next week when we do the show, you plug it in the other side, the picture will be upside down.
That's so weird.
It is weird, but it's just the way it is. I found that out. So anyway.
This is the last show with the Mac, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
So they said, holy crap, we're upside down. David did.
Yeah, dude, I'm sitting on the ceiling today. Get over it. It's fine. It's no big deal. This world's upside down.
Then he says, there were 3 unseated people ahead of them, but they go to the back of the line because of you. Because how you.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Move on. Move it on.
They didn't reinstate it. Then Ralph's here. He says, what's up?
What's up, Ralph?
He then says, make the Supercross sections wider. It is Supercross, and the MX area is bigger for multiple sweeping lines.
No, we just need long lanes. Like, that's what we've discovered with Supercross. Like, the way Supercross works the best is if you have long lanes. All the riders will tell you this. If you have long lanes where you can build momentum jumping down them, then you can get to the end, get a pass going in the bowl turn. But when you have a short lane that's like for example, say in the middle last night, that single table single there, like, those kind of lanes don't work because there's you can't gain any momentum to get speed on a guy to pass him. So you got to have longer lanes. Like I said, if we're going to continue to go to drag strips like this and do what we're doing, you got to fucking do long ass lanes that go from one end of the drag strip to the other, and not even the whole quarter mile. I know that'd be like insane, but you got to go back and forth a good distance there. So
And then the last message we got is, I like how you all just crap on Degan now, and he's the only reason that the race is fun to watch.
yeah, fuck that guy. He blocked me so he can go fuck himself. He loves haters until the haters actually talk about him so he can fuck himself. And I'm sure somebody will clip this and send it to him because there's a lot of you Degan boys out there. Whatever. Don't care. It happens. They're fine. They're great for the sport. Again, yes, they are part of what makes some of this shit entertaining now. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. When he retires, I'll shut the show down because, let's face it, there's not going to be anything as interesting as Degan here for a long time. So, With that being said, if anybody hasn't joined the members area yet, me and Seth over here are going to be working diligently through this offseason. Me and Seth started talking last week. We're going to continue talking here during the offseason and working on implementing plans to get things going in. Yeah, we're making things different. We're going to try to give you guys more content in the members area so that we can open up actually the live recording of the show to the public here. So again, make sure you go join the members area. We do the Thirsty Thursday lives, which is about a half an hour of me sitting there having a sip on a tasty Coca-Cola beverage and just talking whatever with you guys. Right now, you're getting the show stream live for free, but again, that may be changing a little bit depending upon what kind of other content we can put out here and things like that. Shout out to all the sponsors for the 2025 season here. Again, Rev X Products. Presenting the show, keeping the lights on with their max power oil additive. I use it in all my single cylinder 4-stroke bikes. So all my pit bikes, my Groms, my big dirt bikes, we use it in all that. You can put it in your transmission case for your 2-stroke. Again, if you haven't, go check out the Charlotte SMX wrap-up show. We had Dan from Rev X Oil on. Me and James ask him a bunch of questions about the products to figure all sorts of things out. So go check that out. He had tons of good answers. We've tested this product. They work. They don't blow your bike up. There's nothing negative to say about them. So go check them out. Go pick some up. Try it out for yourself. Leave a review. Drop me a DM telling me what your experience is with it. Because yeah, they have all sorts of fuel and oil additives for all of your vehicles. So go check them out. Thanks to Complete Racing Solutions and Coach Rob for putting on the halftime show here. Again, they're highlighting the elite racer, their elite racer group there. So if you're not a pussy and you're not a lunatic, then go apply for that. You'll get full access to Coach Rob there and nutrition, mental, and physical training things from him, as well as deep discounts with a ton of partners they have in the industry. So go check that out. Thanks to Gutter Works for being on board this year. Josh and Kayla, again, great moto people. If you go to any race, any local race here in Michigan, there's a high probability you're going to run into them at some point there. They got about 1 billion kids that race, and great moto people in supporting the show. And if you do live in the Southwest Michigan area, you need any sort of gutter or exterior modifications to your house, make sure to look them up. Thanks to Flo Racing, they've been presenting our 250 recap all year. They are Scott over at ProFlow, great guy, knows a ton of stuff about working on bikes, especially the small bore stuff. He can really realistically do anything, but he really specializes in small bore stuff, and they have tons of parts and everything on the website, so go check those out. Thanks to Eric over at Alias MX and Adept Creative Co. there, providing graphics and gear for us. And thanks to Mike over at NANO XTREME there for helping us out with our painful takes, especially the ones of Justin. Now, he didn't have any tonight, which was amazing, but he's had some real painful ones in the past. So with that being said, yeah, I think this is going to be it for 2025. This show's slightly shorter than normal, but with Justin not being in studio, obviously, we got him on the phone for a couple hours there, so that was pretty good. I don't really have much else to say. Sorry, this show wasn't exactly like our normal thing, but I just thought this would be more of a free flow here. So if you like this kind of show better, instead of us just running down the race order, the race order is the structure I try to use most of the time, but if you guys like this, where we just kind of talk about the major points and then hit on anything little that we like. Sometimes we remember stuff when we run down the race order, so that's why I do that. But if you like this kind of show, comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Go over and check out the Moto Aftermath Racing channel also. I am firing that up again here. I've got videos uploading as we speak. Lots of riding shorts, so if you guys like to see just the quick clips of the pros riding at the races, I have tons of never-before-seen clips that I have in my phone that we haven't used for anything else that we're putting up there. So we're going to try to grow that channel too with all of our riding footage for the pros there. And like I said, me and Seth are diligently working behind the scenes here. We've been working all year, as you all have seen, new camera setups, multi-camera setups here that we've been able to actually use. The live stream for the members. We've been working on all of this, trying to get it better and better and better and better. Obviously, I was going to say, obviously, we've had some issues, as always is with technology, but we're getting it dialed in. Seth's got a new computer over there now to play with for working on this stuff. So hopefully hopefully here by the time we get fired up for the 2026 season here, we will have everything kind of dialed in more here, and me and Seth will have a plan for the content and what we're going to do and when. So thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, follow us on all the socials, and like I said, we'll be back with some off-season shows, but if you guys don't care for those, then we will see everyone in 2026 for the Supercross preview at the end of the year. And with that being said, see y'all later. Thanks for tuning into the Moto Aftermath Show. If you guys like the show, make sure to give us a thumbs up there with that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss a show update, a live show, or anything that we're doing here, because when we find out news, we will be on here bringing you our thoughts with it. Also, if you guys want to help support the show, join our members area. You'll get member exclusives, including live shows. You get to watch the show being recorded live, and you'll get all sorts of other member benefits. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Join the members area, subscribe. We'll see y'all on the next one.